Welcome back to the Anorak Entertainment Podcast, everybody. I'm your host, Don Martino, and we are going to break down the top 5 DC live-action movies today, and that should be a lot of fun. The first time we're doing a theme show, to my knowledge, like this, and as you read it in the title, it is going to be top 5 live-action only, so this should be really, really great. I am excited to do this, and we're going to try to do a process of elimination to kind of narrow it down to what we think is going to be the overall top 5, even though we are probably all going to have vastly different lists. Sammy, how you doing today?
I'm doing good. Families will be destroyed today.
Yes.
Houses will burn as we come to you with the 5 best. This will be unbiased. Like, this is the 5 best. At the end of this, like, I'm sorry if you don't agree. We've burned houses for this. We will give you the 5 best live action DC movies. We guarantee.
100%. Certainly.
I'm excited to do it.
Certainly, if anybody's the end all be all on that, it's us. I mean, clearly. So
that's what I'm saying.
Cisco, how you doing today, man? What's going on?
Pretty good. I got my pen here for my list. So Catwoman is gonna be number 1. We all know that. Yeah. So we just gotta like get the 4 after that, and then we'll be good. So
100%. Yes. It's a mystery. It's a mystery. I mean, if Catwoman's 1, I can't imagine what the other ones are.
Steel.
Like the list.
Steel's number 2.
Daredevil. For sure.
That's Marvel, but it's okay.
Oh shit, is that Marvel? I don't know, man. There's like a handful of I've never seen Catwoman, never actually seen Daredevil. There's like a handful that I'm like, where do they belong? I don't know.
That's all right. My number 1 is Empire Strikes Back on my
Jonah
list.
Hex. Jonah Hex. That'll be number 3.
Jonah Hex.
There we go.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
And then Superman 4, and then Batman and Robin. There you go.
Oh, obviously.
That's my
list.
That's
the top 5 done. We're done. We did it. Good night. Have a good one. Thanks for watching.
Yeah. All right. Later.
We did it. Done.
I don't think there's going to be any discrepancy between the 3 of us on that list. So yeah, we might have done that.
Done.
So I gotta tell you guys a story. I was going to, I traveled 2 hours to see Green Knight at my local.
Holy shit, dude!
I use the word local loosely here. My local
You're committed.
Art house theater.
I was gonna say I saw it. I traveled 5 minutes today to see it.
Yeah.
My local theater is literally down the street.
When it comes to A24, I don't mess around. I got to go to the local art house theater.
Yeah,
it can't just be the local theater. It's got to be the art house. And I went with my buddy Josh. He and I love these types of movies. And I had a great time doing that. Okay, so here's the problem. 2-hour trip, right? So it's a long one.
And the movie too is two plus hours.
Exactly. So I had my tickets booked at the, again, I use the word local loosely, Art House Theater out in Indianapolis. So the movie was supposed to start at 8:00. And so we get there at 8:00. I pull up my tickets, I show them the thing, they scan the barcode, it ain't fucking working. I'm like, oh god, what's going on? Actually, you're probably there at 7:50, to be honest with you, in what I like to call hoity-toity land.
So you're on time. On time, there you go.
Right, exactly. And so the barcode doesn't scan, huh? So they couldn't figure it out. I'm sitting there like trying to see if there was any other kind of confirmation email that was sent, because I've never had this problem. So I don't know. I've shown them the ticket. I'm like, is there anything else on here you could use, like confirmation number, anything like that? And they're like, so they're looking at it and they're like, oh, I see the problem. And I'm like, what? And they're like, you booked tickets for the other art house theater all the way across Indianapolis. I'm like, other art house theaters. So apparently they have 2 now, and I booked them for the wrong one.
No.
Didn't know that. So then they refund my ticket. But I was happy in a way. I mean, okay, so they're showing though.
They let you refund it.
Yeah, exactly. That was great. But no gripes on the theater or the service or anything like that. But the one thing I'll say though, their showing of the Green Knight happened to start at 9:40. We were not going to make the 8:00 all the way across town, and we traveled 2 hours to get to hoity-toity land. And so I was happy to be there. But I wasn't happy to be there that long. So, I was a little bummed about that. Plus, I didn't get home till like 2 a.m. or something like that. So that kind of sucked. But love the movie. It was great in my opinion. But here's the other thing that happened though while we were out there. Typically, when I go to get smokes, I'm traveling, 10 minutes to not even 10 minutes to the gas station. What am I talking about? Like 10 seconds to the gas station? And when you're out in hoity-toity land where everybody's rich and they don't smoke and they have art house theaters and they only watch pretentious films, their nearest gas station is 12 minutes away. I had to take a 12-minute trip to go get smokes since we had to wait so long. Ridiculous. So I don't know. That was my weekend, but how was your guys' weekend? Did you do anything fun, Cisco?
I was just gonna say because it's $5 Tuesdays at the movie chain by me, and I've pretty much seen like all the new stuff that I want to see. I mean, nice. I haven't seen Respect. I'm probably gonna see that like this weekend. Okay. But a 2.5 hour biopic where like it looks pretty standard. I'm like, oh man, like I don't know how I'm gonna do with that, especially like because I tried to go early today and I'm tired. 2.5 hours, that's a long time. Right. for I always just think of like Dewey Cox killed the whole biopic genre for me. Like if you're not gonna do something interesting with it, just don't even do it at all. So I'm hoping like it's good. And I mean, anything I've heard, Jennifer Hudson's good in it. She sings a lot of the songs. So but yeah, so I saw The Green Knight because that was like the only one that like I wanted to see again. I've already seen it. Like we did an episode of Saturday Matinee on it like 2 weeks ago, and I liked it even more the second time. I thought it was great. I thought it was good the first time, but there's definitely some things like I'm not familiar with the source material. Right. Kind of getting adjusted to like the language and like what they're saying. Like they don't explain anything. It's not a very like blockbuster like just average moviegoer movie. Like you really have to be paying attention to what's going on and like what they're saying, because everything kind of connects to it. And like the second time, I feel like when you know what happens there, I was catching up on like so much stuff I missed the first time. And so I really recommend that if you're like kind of unsure the first time you see it, or you have questions. But I will say, because I just told Dom this before we started rolling, like to stay for, there's a post-credit scene, and like the ending is already really crazy and like open to interpretation. Yeah. And so like the second time I kind of had not like a different interpretation, but I kind of had like more thoughts on it, what would happen. And then the post-credit scene happened and I was like, oh man, like this might have just, I had to reevaluate like all over again because of the post-credit scene. So definitely stay for that. And then I did plan on seeing, I kind of had a similar like time fuck up or whatever movie, whatever you want to call it, Dom, too. Because I had planned it out to where after Dark Knight, Jesus, getting into our DC list, a Green Knight, ended. It was I was gonna see the Forever Purge, which I haven't seen yet, and I was like, that's the only one I haven't seen that's playing at this theater, and so I timed it out, and so I'm going to buy my ticket like on the app or whatever, and as soon as I'm like going to check out, it's like this showtime has been moved. And I was like, wait, what? So apparently no one had bought a ticket for that showing. Oh, and no. I had missed the like, because like I had to stay for the post credit scene. I had missed like the window to buy a ticket for the showing. And so the next showing then was like in like hours. And I'm like, I'm not fucking staying around. And I've seen everything I wanted to see already. And I'm like, damn it, whatever. I'll have to see Forever Purge. Maybe Thursday, there's like a discount day too. So maybe I'll go Thursday and see that. And yeah, like Respect, I think I'm going to see that on Friday. So, nice. But yeah, that was another one where I was like, I had a plan going into it. And yeah, plans going out the window all over the place on this episode. So yeah.
Not only did the wrench get thrown into your theory, it got thrown into your plans too. So that's
got thrown into the theater. Yeah.
Sammy, my whole spot. Weekend? Did you do anything fun?
Oh no, it's good. Just stayed home pretty much. I'm getting ready. I'm in college in case anyone didn't know, and I go back next week. So getting ready for that.
Good deal. I'm excited for you. I'm very excited.
Edwin says hi, by the way, Dom.
Hi. Oh. Only to Dom, fine. I was gonna say hi. Well, hi to you too, but
And
Fine,
Sammy.
not to me.
And
Thank
Sammy.
you. Hi, how are you? There you go. See how nice I am when you say hi to
I'll
me?
let him know.
Tell
I'll let
him
him know.
to reevaluate Free Guy.
It's funny because his other co-host that he does on his website also liked it, so he's the minority.
He's very small minority right now on that
yeah
one, I would say. Very small minority. So the other thing that happened this weekend is I started watching What We Do in the Shadows. For a the show for a very specific reason. Have you seen it, Cisco?
I've seen the movie. I have not seen the show.
Okay, me either. I love the movie. I'm a big fan of the movie.
Yeah, me too.
Sammy, have you seen the? I don't think you've even seen the movie, right? If I'm not mistaken.
I haven't seen anything.
Okay, so the thing I'm going to show you here is hysterical for a very specific reason. My buddy pointed this out to me. It's the whole reason I started watching the show, and he's going to kill me, and I'm okay with that. But you guys have met Mark. You know Mark. Mark is in the show. Like, it's not like just a guy that looks like Mark or sounds like Mark. Like, Mark is in this show. Like, I'm telling you right now, you guys got to see this. I'm gonna pull this up for you. Let's fix your cameras here too while we're at it. Okay. Of course they don't give us a break here.
Wrench thrown into our cameras too today.
I know, right? It's crazy. Sammy doesn't even
wrench
have
is getting thrown everywhere.
I don't know where Sammy's camera went. So.
I know, I'm not even here.
I don't know. What the
Still
hell?
in the void.
Still in the void. Still in the void. Let me try to get you in here. Hang on. Well, no, that's gonna screw that up. Okay, never mind. I don't want to screw anything up, Sammy. So you're just gonna be left out of this part of it. I'm sorry.
That's fine.
This portion you'll be left out, but you'll get your audio reaction on this. So, this is Mark. I am telling you guys.
Can I get a drum roll first, please?
No.
Nope.
Fine. I'll do my own.
Are you here?
I'm holding up a finger indicating to hold on a second. Feeling better now. I was a little sick this weekend. Hey, Don. Don.
Now detailing, they go into your car and they get into the nooks and crannies.
Yeah.
So if you don't want to have kids, then I would keep that phone in your pocket.
You know, I actually don't mind taking the bus. Everyone kind of focuses on the day part of Daywalker, but actually no one focuses on the walker part.
When it comes to zoning ordinances, I have a few thoughts.
Is this turkey cut freshly from the breast, or is it a pre-processed roll?
All of our meats are actually freshly sliced.
I prefer the roll. I'm wearing a new cologne called Mr. Hijinks.
Okay, great. I'm off to shave.
It's a cologne aftershave mix, and I found it in the bathroom at work.
Wait, can we just not talk about the cologne anymore?
Why would you use a cologne?
Shush!
To annoy you.
This building used to be owned by Hescherschmidt's Farrier. A farrier deals with equine foot care, kind of a Nike for horses.
Frankly, I would be flattered if witches collected my semen.
How's your night been, guys?
It's none of your business.
What?
How's your night been?
It's been fine.
Okay, good. Ours is too.
You know,
Don't ruin it.
I wouldn't think of ruining it.
Thank you.
The great Genghis Khan
I knew it.
has over 16 million living descendants. Now that's a seed.
This is Mark coming up here.
Andor, it's time to name that tune.
Guillermo, get him out of here!
Did you get out of here?
I made it up.
Sleeping.
That's what I call my morning coffee.
I was thinking about the whole Q-tip debate that we've been having, and you know, science says that you shouldn't stick anything smaller than your elbow into your ear. Talk about damage to the ear canal, am I not right?
Just can't.
Yeah.
We're planning your surprise party.
Oh, a surprise party, huh? Well, it's not much of a surprise now, is it? You know, if the fun part of the party is that it's a surprise and you eliminate all element of surprise, then it just becomes a party, right?
That's Mark right there.
That was pretty Mark.
It's uncanny. It's uncanny. Oh my gosh. I was laughing so this guy, I'll tell you, is the reason you watch this show. Like, the show's good otherwise, but like, he's the reason you watch it.
Was he in the movie? Or
no, he wasn't in the movie.
I've seen that guy in other stuff too, and he's funny though.
You know where he's at? I found it. He's in Better Call Saul. That's where I recognize him from. He's funny in that too. Yeah, but this show, playing Mark. He's playing Mark in the show. It's wild. It's one of those things, like, I don't know if you guys have had that experience where you watch something with a character who's very, like, cartoony, and, like, people go, that guy's way too over the top for me. Like, that would never happen. It's like, oh, no, this guy exists. Like, I know that guy. Like, it's real. It might not seem like it to you, but he's 100% real. It's all, oh, my gosh, I love it. But,
oh, he's in the office though. That's probably where I've
he?
seen him.
I don't remember him in the office.
Is he? Yeah.
Yeah, he's in the office. It says 2010 to 2013.
Yeah.
So
he definitely familiar to me too.
That's the great thing about what we do in the shadows, though. It's the office with vampires. Like, so if you it
was giving me those vibes for sure. Office vibes for sure with him.
It's good, man, and it still feels like something that Taika did, which I really like. You know, it doesn't feel like it strays away from the movie too much. Different characters for sure, but it's so funny. I highly recommend this as a watch. Pretty good stuff. But I think it's on Hulu right now. I think it's FX. I think
it is on Hulu.
Yeah, it's FX. So FX on Hulu. Right. So anyway, so without further ado, I guess Sammy, if you're ready, you got your pad there.
I do indeed.
We can get into this list. The top 5 guys, we will discover this or figure this out tonight. We're going to have a rowdy dow, essentially, so this should be fun.
I feel like one of us is going to fight. I feel like a fight is going to break out. I just feel it in my bones.
Who do you think it's going to be?
I just know. Because I think, well, the thing is, because I know my list, right? And I have a pretty damn good idea of what Dom's list is. Cisco's list is a total wild card to me.
Wild card, baby.
Somewhere in there, just something's going to happen. I feel it.
Wild card.
Who do you think, who's 100% guaranteed out of the 3 of us to be involved in this fight? Like, there's got to be one that's 100% guaranteed here.
You.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's gonna be Dom. I don't have much stake in it, to be honest. I could pretend to for the show, honestly, but I really don't.
For this.
Oh man.
You could just cut this out and I'll just act it out. I'll act it out. Yeah.
You heard nothing. You didn't hear that.
Yeah.
Nope. Thought you heard that, you didn't.
All right, I'm gonna need some levity before we start this. Then, if I'm gonna be fighting, so let's look at Mark again.
Is that not what we've been doing right now? Is that not what this show is?
It's all good. It's all good. Anyway, no, okay. So I'm ready.
Ready.
I'm gonna randomly pick who's gonna go first here, and since Sammy was gracious enough to do the notes, I'll let you go first.
You're gonna let me go first?
I'll
okay.
Let you go first, since you were so gracious in doing the notes. All right, so you're number 5.
I ended up making a top 10, by the way. I'm only gonna do top 5.
I'll do it myself.
Third legit was enough for a 10.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, by the way,
all right, number 5.
Before we start, we'll do 5, 5, 4. You know what I mean? Like we'll.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Anyway,
we'll each do our 5. Each
what
got
is
it.
your
all
number
right.
5?
My number 5. Number 5 is Wonder Woman 2017. My number 5.
Oh yeah. I actually really forgot about that one. So,
it's not on your list. Misogynist.
Also, Sammy, since you were gracious enough. Well, actually, you know what? Oh yeah, since you were gracious enough to do the list, I'll let you pick who goes next on this.
Cisco, you go next.
Yeah, I'm very.
What's your number 5?
Actually,
too, so.
No, Dom, you gotta go because I'm like that. She just made me like. She made me rejigger some stuff.
Oh
yeah,
man.
go ahead, Dom.
Okay.
I'm okay. All right. Fair
okay.
Enough.
So we'll go me, Dom, Cisco. That's our rotation.
Okay. All right. So my number 5, drum roll, is Batman 1989. That's my number 5.
Interesting. All right. Fair.
All right, Cisco, you ready?
Also, I don't know if we want to explain why there are number 5s. Well, we can come back to that.
Why is Wonder Woman your number 5, Sammy? Go ahead.
Oh, I mean, we talked
about this.
Yeah, we could talk about it. Yeah.
We're just gonna list them off and just not say anything.
Hot fucking mess. Anyway,
I figured we'd have enough comments on the movies
themselves
once it comes to argument and debate time. Like I felt like there was gonna be enough.
Oh yeah, I forgot we're doing that.
Fair.
Yeah.
Okay, I have a question.
Let's do a brief, like 1 to 2 sentences. Go ahead, though. Go ahead.
Okay, because I found a list, and like, if this doesn't count, I have like it's fine. But like, okay, is V for Vendetta a DC movie?
Yes.
I think that counts. Yeah.
Yes.
That was on my top 10. It's in the bottom
Okay.
of my 5.
So my 5, I will have to say. Yeah. Okay. I'll say Wonder Woman 2 actually, because that's a really good. That's really good, and yeah, fuck yeah, I gotta put that on there.
All
somewhere.
right.
Okay.
So I think Wonder Woman's on the list somewhere.
Automatically, it's a 5, right? Like, doesn't that make it automatically 5?
I think.
Okay, we'll get into it. We'll get into it. I mean, we'll just vote it as usual.
She's on the list for sure.
We'll do business as usual, and then we'll we'll go through it. But Sammy, what's your number 4? And you can make a comment on it if you want to.
All right, my number 4. This is a movie that I did not see until I want to say earlier this year. I didn't see it until earlier this year. But I absolutely loved it, and it's Superman 2, 1980.
Wow. All right.
I just love the performances are immaculate. I was writing it down. I forgot to say something. I love the performances. I love where the plot goes. I think the big thing people say about it is that it's very campy, especially with the villains. Like, it's just wildly insane. And I have not seen the Richard Donner cut, so I don't know if that's better, but everybody says that it is better, and it gets rid of a lot of the camp and a lot of the fluff and just makes it better. I am kind of obsessed. I love Superman 2 so much.
Right.
Number 4.
Right. So do we so I guess we're gonna stick with exclusively theatrical version on that then when you say that. So
yes, because I have not seen the Donner cut. Yeah.
All right. Oh man, this was a toss up between my 3 and 4. So my number 4 is Watchmen. Zack Snyder's masterpiece in my opinion. I don't think he's made one movie better, but other than Watchmen in my opinion. But I actually think that Watchmen, as far as like comic book movies, just defied the typical conventions that we're used to in comic book films. Had the balls to actually be, if you watch his ultimate cut, we're gonna go ahead and say that this is exclusive to the ultimate cut, because the ultimate cut of Watchmen is has the balls to be 3.5 hours long, and I think it's worth every minute of that, and it's one of the best adaptations I've seen ever in my life, adapting a graphic novel to a movie, and he does it pretty straightforward. So yeah, I love it. So that's my number 4. Cisco, number 4. What do you got?
This is really funny.
He forgot to write in Superman 2, didn't he? He reworked his list.
No, I have it on here actually, but like, because I forgot Wonder Woman, this is what's like putting a wrench in my list.
You had to cut
really.
something, right?
Yeah.
I had to cut something. Okay. So yeah, number 4. So no, I'll just say it out loud now because it's not gonna make my list now, unfortunately. But like literally, Superman 2 would be like number 6.
Wow.
So I had to put Wonder Woman somewhere on here. And I haven't seen Superman 1. I haven't seen Superman 1 and 2 in a long time, so that might affect it too. But I really do like them. I mean, it's like 6. It's right there.
Yeah.
So I wanted to put it on there. But yeah, I'll do number 4. Actually, is Watchmen 2. I have my list here. If you guys think I'm lying, like this is literally my order. That I just had to boot Superman 2 off. But yeah, Watchmen is my number 4.
Nice. Right. Watchmen is on like my
director's
long list.
Director's cut.
Yeah. It was on my long list because I do love that movie. So that's fair. I can give you that. Because not gonna lie, I feel okay. If this is the only time Superman shows up on this list, I will be angry for doing this, but I will give it to Watchmen. I'll give number 4.
See, I know it's so tough. I'm like, damn, how can you kick Superman off though? But,
I know.
Fuck.
I do. There may be spoilers for the rest of the list, but not the only time Superman shows up on my list. So we'll have to see. Tentatively, I'll put it at number 4. We'll put Watchmen in there. I'll tentatively concede.
All right.
Now number 3. My number 3 was Dom's number 5, Batman 1989.
Nice.
I also did not see this movie until a couple years ago, and when I saw it, I could not believe that it had not been in my life for that long. It is incredible. Michael Keaton is probably my favorite Batman. I like Jack Nicholson's Joker. I think like you can just mic drop there. You don't need to say anything else. It's the perfect level of like action and seriousness, but also like superhero kind of comic book camp. And I love it. It's like one of the best superhero movies, period. This would be up there. If we were doing superhero movies of all time, this one would be up there as well. It's my number 3, Batman 89.
I like it. Okay. So my number 3 is one that I think is just, it's undisputed. It has to be in the top 5 list. I don't know if it's not on any of yours, all right, but I think it's just a must to have on the list. One of those movies that just I can watch it almost any time. It's so suspenseful and thrilling. And that is The Dark Knight. I have to throw The Dark Knight on this list. I like Michael Keaton's Batman better as as an interpretation than Christian Bale's, but as a movie as a whole, I gotta say Dark Knight is probably the best Batman solo movie so far. So had to go on the list for sure. So that's mine. Cisco, number 3. Number 3. He's rewriting again. He forgot about Dark Knight.
Again.
Not rewriting it. Did not forget about the Dark Knight. Fuck you guys, okay? No, number 3 is gonna be V for Vendetta. That was also another question mark because it's not on the Wikipedia list, but it is a DC comic, it says so.
Okay. All right. No, it's a fair pick. I mean, I'll take it.
I love that movie.
It's good. Yes. Good flick.
Yeah, me too.
Good pick.
Wachowski sisters.
Yep. Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah, man.
Yep.
I feel like, okay, so one of these movies shows up later on my list, so I think we should hang out for a sec on number 3. Because it's between
we don't have
Batman,
to decide
Dark
right
Knight,
now.
and V for
We can
Vendetta.
just do our
Oh,
full
no, we're
list.
going to go back around.
Let's sit on that
Are
one.
you trying to vote them all right now? We're going to go back around.
Oh, no, just trying to
Gotcha.
talk about
enough.
it before we move on to the next one.
So
that one I'm just going to leave.
Kind of showing people.
We're just leaving that one for right now.
All right.
Yeah.
All right, so what's your number 2?
All right. My number 2 is the original Superman from 1978, 8, I want to say late 70s, but the original Christopher Reeve Superman. Again, because I became obsessed with Superman and Superman 2 this year. I think they are incredible movies. I had liked Superman. Like, Superman was an okay character for me, but I never really had that much attachment to him. I never really cared as much as I cared about like Batman because I've just had so many great Batman movies. But after watching especially the Richard Donner original Superman, I was like, okay, I get it now. I get why people love Superman. I get why people love Lois Lane. I get the character. I get the world. And that movie is just absolutely incredible. That is a masterclass of superhero filmmaking, if you ask me.
All right.
Yeah. Original Superman.
All right. Right on. All right.
Soups.
My number 2,
Soups.
and I apologize.
Which is big. I used to not like Soups. And now we have 2 Superman movies on my list.
Awesome.
It's big for me.
I see what you're doing, Sammy, trying to stack the list in your favor here. See what you're doing. Maybe I got something from my last 2 in store for you guys. You don't know.
Yeah.
Wild card.
We'll see.
I know you're just the wild card. I genuinely try to predict what yours might be, and I was like, I'm
surprised that we're so in line. Honestly, like this is. I have it written down if you guys don't believe me too. So, but this is crazy.
This is wild.
All right. So my number 2 is and I apologize to the late great Richard Donner and the late great Christopher Reeve that it wasn't a Superman movie, but all right, here we go. Or original Superman movie per se, but my number 2 is Zack Snyder's Justice League. Movie came out this year.
Saw this one coming.
Blew my mind. loved this movie. I think it is not only in the top 5 DC movies, but top 5 comic book movies for me. It's amazing, and I was stunned. I was really stunned by how well rounded it actually turned out to be. And even though I was a Snyder fan, I didn't know he had all this in him, honestly, and I really fucking love this movie, and I'm happy that's on the list. So, yep, that's my number 2, Zack Snyder's Justice League. Cisco, number 2.
All right. Are we talking now after these picks? Now I feel like I have to defend these. Or
we'll get to the. You can make a comment, but we'll do a defense thing later. We'll get to that part. But you can make.
Okay.
Comments.
Well, So number 2 is Batman Returns, which is my preferred of the Keaton movies.
Okay.
It's a Christmas movie. It's a Christmas movie. You can watch it every year, which I do now. It has like a lot more violence than the first Batman movie. like where he's just straight out taking people out. So people always say that Tim Burton's movies are like goofier or like don't hold up or whatever, but like I'd argue he's just as like rampaging in Batman Returns as like the Nolan ones or whatever. But there's just happens to be Danny DeVito as Penguin running around and stuff. So and the best Catwoman we've ever seen to this day in there. So yeah, for those reasons, I think it deserves to be on here. I still love that movie.
Right on, man.
So yeah.
All right.
Hell yeah.
Love it. All right,
right.
Sammy, number one.
The big one.
Holy
Number
shit.
one. The drum roll. All right. Number one for me is, it was mentioned already, it's The Dark Knight. That is my number one DC movie. I have been obsessed with this movie ever since 2008 when it came out. I will never forget it. Like, that was one of the wildest times. That movie literally changed the way I think about cinema, the way I think about directing and acting, and what a movie could do and the way a movie could make me feel. I will never forget watching, especially the beginning with the whole like bank robbery scene, and it ends with the Joker taking his mask off. That scene, and toward the end when it's the people on the boats and they have to decide which one they're going to blow up. I had never felt, 10-year-old me had never felt anxiety like that from a movie in my life, and that has stuck with me ever since. And it gets better the more I watch it. I've written essays about this in school. This is one of the best superhero movies of all time. I have very little wrong with it. It is absolutely, it's a work of art. It is incredible. Dark Knight is my number one. Yep.
Okay.
Dom, I feel like I know what your number one is.
Okay.
But let's see if I'm right.
All right. So my number one is a movie that I think is just one of the best movies that we've had probably in the past at least 10 years. They just don't make movies like this anymore, and blew my mind. And I think we need more movies like this. My number one is Joker. I think I think what Joaquin did is
saw this one coming as well.
Unprecedented and incredible. I fucking love Joker. There's nothing else like it. It's probably one of the most disturbing movies I've ever seen in my life, and I love that about it. I love that it disturbed me. I love that it included an incredible performance. I like that it's a character study unlike anything we'd seen before. So yeah, it was just really, really phenomenal. At least in comic book history, we'd never seen anything like that before. So yeah, I'll go ahead and turn it back to Cisco for number one. All right, let's see what this is.
Now you guys are thinking, what's the wild card gonna do?
I don't know.
A lot of suspense going in here.
I know what it is.
I think I might know. But
It's gotta be The Dark Knight.
Yeah.
Yes.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah.
I mean, Sammy did a very good defense of it earlier, but I mean, yeah, I saw that movie like 3 times in theaters. Just what a banger. Heath Ledger's Joker, Oscar-winning performance, well deserved.
Mm-hmm.
It is the movie that made the Oscars put 10 movies in the Best Picture category. It's just an iconic. It redefined what comic book movies could be, and now everyone tried to do it, but nobody could do it as good as Dark Knight. Let's be honest here. And the Harvey Dent Two-Face thing, it's crazy they pulled it off, and the effects don't. I mean, I just rewatched the whole trilogy like for Tenet, so like in the last year, and it's crazy how good like those effects and everything still hold up. And you know, I don't even care that like it's Gotham is Chicago, because it's like, I think if anything that makes it look more modern and like cooler. You know, obviously I love Tim Burton Gotham too, but they went different directions. So I still like it. And yeah, I mean, what else can you say that hasn't been said already? It's fucking The Dark Knight.
It's The Dark Knight, man.
It's The Dark Knight.
It's The Dark Knight. It's The Dark Knight.
All right, Sammy. So what do we do here? How are we doing this?
All right,
I think 2 Dark Knights should be one. Should make it number one. Like if there's parallels, I feel like that should automatically make it on the list.
Mm-hmm.
What do you guys think?
So that means our number 5 would be Wonder Woman, number 4 would be Watchmen, and number 1 would be The Dark Knight. Those are all of the repeats. So number 2 and 3 are.
Well, I think. Well, you can argue the locations of the repeats too, but I think because both on the strength of us having Dark Knight number 1, I feel like that should be number 1.
Yeah.
Okay.
So yeah, we can argue the other 2. I don't know.
All right, so maybe we should start with like eliminating a couple then.
Okay.
And then like I don't know, we'll start there and we'll kind of go from there. So, Maybe we should vote for an elimination in the ones that we don't. You know what I mean? So
yeah.
like our 2 and 3.
Okay.
I think we should only have one Superman and one Batman, maybe.
Ooh. Damn. Okay.
That could be a way to eliminate. I'm just
that
saying
would
ways
be a
to
way
eliminate.
Yeah.
Okay.
Let me see. Okay. Yeah.
Well then.
So maybe. Hold on. Let me do math. Sorry.
You're fine. We're gonna let Sammy do some math here while we're waiting. Some honorable mentions that I struggled not to put on this list. Wonder Woman was definitely one that I struggled not to put on here. Shazam as well. I really struggled, with that one.
Aquaman.
Yeah, I don't know, not as much. Batman Returns I struggled with though. I didn't think Aquaman would ever be a top 5, maybe top 10 if we were gonna go that far, but top 5 was.
Well, that's like honorable mentions. That's like.
Yeah, true.
If it's not your 5, it's got to be your next 5.
Yeah. Good point. It just like I really struggled with those 3: Shazam, Wonder Woman, and Batman Returns. I was really struggling and not to put them on. So,
Batman Returns, V for Vendetta, Watchmen, Snyder Cut, and Shazam were the bottom 5. Were 6 through 10.
Yeah.
That I had a real hard time. They could have been in the top 5 like any other day. It depends on mood and a lot of stuff.
Yeah. I love the Suicide Squad as well. Hard. That was the other one that was hard for me not to put on there. I love that new one. But anyway, Cisco, do you have any honorable mentions to throw out before we get into the...
I mean, you guys pretty much had them already. So Batman 89, Superman 1 and 2.
All right. No.
Aquaman, Shazam.
Aquaman. Yeah.
Shazam.
Yeah.
So.
Tough ones.
Okay, I think what we could do, if my math serves me correctly, so we need 5 spots. So what we could do, we could pick 1 Batman, 1 Superman, 1 DCEU, 1 of the graphic novel adaptations, and then we can do a wild pick where one of the ones that we've eliminated we can fight for the final slot.
Okay,
I like that.
How does that work?
Sure. Works.
Okay, so let's start. So we have to pick between The Dark Knight, Batman.
Let's do like
and do we want to put Joker in as a Batman movie, or do you want to put
I was gonna say
a different one?
I'd be okay with like 1 Joker, like because I prefer Heath Ledger's Joker, but I know Dom's gonna want Joker in there somewhere. But I was
actually very surprised that it didn't make either of your top 5. So I'll be honest with you, but
I don't love Joker.
Yeah, I mean, I like it and I respect it a lot, but like, do I want to watch it again? No. Do I want to, is it like, am I clamoring for it all the time? Wow. Not like, I respect it a lot and I'm glad that it exists and I'm glad the people who love it and I'm not like mad about it or anything, but like, just not my top 10. There are 10 movies I would pick to watch before.
Watch that movie at least 26 times. I saw it 4 times in the theater.
I prefer King of Comedy. I'm gonna go for a movie like that. Yeah.
Never seen King of Comedy.
Great film.
It's Joker with a comedian. I mean, which Joker is a comedian too. So it's really similar.
Yeah. No, I remember when side note, when the trailer came out for Joker, or when people were first talking about it, that on Screen Junkies, they were like, so do you think Joker's just going to be like a remake of King of Comedy? And they were like, how funny would that be if you're sitting there watching the movie and it's just a remake of King of Comedy and then it came out and people were like, they weren't wrong.
It's tough.
It sounds like we're shitting on the movie. We're not dumb. I do really love it. It is really great.
I like it better when I rewatched it, but I mean, I watched King of Comedy before I saw Joker, and like that really lessened the impact for me because I'm just like, this is exactly the same, almost like just in the DC universe with like known characters. But I mean, like I said, it's a comedian trying to get on a show that he watches.
By far. I think Joker's by far more disturbing. I mean, I love King of Comedy, but yeah. Anyway, forget it. What are we doing?
Yeah, well, I mean, Joker is a psychopath. Yeah, like
Yeah.
Okay. So what we have to decide, are we counting Joker as a Batman? Are we counting this in the Batman category?
Can I count it in the running if I count it there? Then yes.
Wait, what did you...
Is that my way to keep it in the running? Then yeah.
Okay, so that means, so for our first vote, we have to pick between Batman 1989, Batman Returns, The Dark Knight.
Maybe we should do a different. That's what I was trying to say at the beginning, because this is going to be like the number one category, right? We should start from number 5 and work our way up to 1.
That's what I was saying.
That's the
let's do 5.
That's the more climactic. Yeah.
Okay, move our way up from that. Okay.
All right.
So we'll first do. Okay, so first then, so Watchmen.
Maybe
or
the
V for
DC.
Vendetta.
Okay.
Maybe the first
DCEU or whatever.
Yeah.
All right. Go ahead.
We can do that.
Do what you're doing.
So okay, DCEU then would be we have to pick between Snyder Cut and Wonder Woman.
Okay.
Again, I think this is what if there's 2 Wonder Womans, I think that takes precedent.
I think it's automatic Wonder Woman because you guys both voted. So yeah, you're good.
Yeah.
Cool. No pushback. Wonder Woman.
No pushback.
Done.
Go and put Wonder Woman.
All right, Wonder Woman. Done. All right, graphic novel adaptations. Watchmen or V for Vendetta.
Okay. I guess Sammy, you're the deciding vote on that. I mean.
Ooh, shit. Am I? I guess I am, huh? Damn.
Well, obviously, I'd vote Watchmen, and Cisco would probably go V for Vendetta, right? Or,
yeah.
I had V for Vendetta higher. Yeah.
So.
Damn, I love both those movies. Oh, damn. All right. The thing is, Watchmen is literally everything. It's about everything.
I just prefer the TV show at this point. That's why it
that's true. The TV show.
Spot
that is very true. And we are just talking about the movie. That is true. I have to think just about the movie because I'm thinking about the graphic novels. Because I haven't read all of V for Vendetta, but I've read all of Watchmen.
All right, so I think it's fair we each give an argument then, since Cisco and I are on opposite sides. So Cisco, go ahead. I'll give you the floor first. Your argument for V.
If we're talking graphic novels, I prefer the Watchmen graphic novel over the movie, and I prefer the V for Vendetta movie over the graphic novel. So that's why, and on top of, I like the Watchmen series better now. So then that's why. I mean, it's still my number. What? 3. Like, for Watchmen's my 4, V for Vendetta's my 3. They're still like on my list. But and if I had to choose, I'd put V for Vendetta. That's my case.
All right. So you got all right. So first of all, you got this great ass cast. Patrick Wilson's in that fucking thing, by the way, which is amazing.
That's true.
Billy Crudup is great. What Zack Snyder did at the time was just unprecedented for the comic book genre. It was just incredible, and like DC had never taken a risk like that, I don't think, in making a movie not only as long as that one was, but as dark as that one was, with all the blood, all the gore. Rorschach is the shit, and it's just such a good adaptation of that graphic novel. I think it really works. It does everything the graphic novel did in its storytelling and then some. So that's my debate. So you're the deciding vote.
I would just say that V for Vendetta came out a couple years before.
Hey, we only got one.
We're talking about DC doing
no, that's not fair. We only got one. We only got one comment.
I'm fact checking you, bro. You said Watchmen did it first. V for Vendetta 2005.
Wait. Did what first?
You said DC had never done something like that first.
No, not really. Not to that degree.
Adaptation.
I like V for
Vendetta. I know you
mean.
It's up to a degree. Yeah, it's heightened. I see what you mean. Like it's definitely heightened.
Not to that degree.
Yeah.
Not to that degree. I see what you're saying, but not to that degree. Anyway, sorry, Sam.
I think damn. Both very good points that I agree with. Like I totally agree with both points because I love both these movies. But I think like if we're talking about the movie, I think I'm gonna go V for Vendetta. I do think it's just a little bit of a better movie. I know. I do. If we're going graphic novels, Watchmen. Watchmen is everything. If you haven't read Watchmen, I don't understand how you're living as a human on this planet right now. But movie-wise, I'm going V for Vendetta.
All right, what's next?
All right, next. All right, we got a biggie. We got our penultimate biggie, Superman. So we got to pick Superman 1 or 2.
This was easy for me. I mean, Superman 2 almost made my list, so we're at Superman 2.
Damn, I do not know.
I'm sorry, Dom, go ahead. If it was the Donner cut, I'd be with you, but we're talking the theatrical. I'm definitely gonna go with Superman 1. I think that Christopher Reeve is he's everything in that movie. You know what I mean? I mean everything that Superman should have been at the time. And I felt like in the theatrical cut of Superman 2 that kind of got taken away a little bit. All of those great qualities that he had. First, I mean, Superman has greatest origin story, I think, of the two. Well, obviously the second one's not an origin story, but like think about like a comic book origin story. Yeah, I know. Think about a comic book origin story though, and Superman is almost perfect. I mean, it's great for that. So that's my argument. But I would go Superman.
I think I'm gonna go Superman because I think I'm the deciding vote again, right? Because you say
Can
Superman.
I get a segment
right?
then?
Yeah, no, go ahead. Go ahead.
Okay.
Yeah.
I forgot we're arguing these.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay.
Just hot
so I love Superman, but like I don't know, it just I think on rewatch, like why like 2 better is like the ending is goofy as hell, like reversing the world to reverse time on a practical level makes no sense, and then it's just goofy. Like it's tough. I can't defend it, and like Gene Hackman as Lex Luthor, it's like I don't know. I feel like I get it. That was like the tone of it, but like we're in a different world of superheroes, supervillains now, and it just doesn't hold up as well. But then in 2, you get like villains that like actually can put Superman to the test, and I like that a lot better. I don't know the specifics of the Donner cut versus the cut I saw or whatever, but like I'm just saying as the overall get past the origin stuff, and like you can just get into like Christopher Reeve as Superman versus these villains, and with the Lois Lane relationship, and just keep building on all that stuff, and that's why I like 2. So yeah.
Go ahead, Sammy.
Oh, this is so fucking hard, and
I love both of them though, so I wouldn't be mad either way. Because that's just my preference.
I love both these movies so much. I'm trying to think of like, I kind of want to ask what you guys would say is your answer to this, but I'm trying to think in my, like, I know the answer for me in my mind. I'm thinking of like the best scene for me in Superman versus the best scene in Superman 2, and I'm trying to compare the two and see just which one is better. Which one? Okay, pick a scene. Like, what do you think is the best scene in Superman, Dom, and best scene in Superman 2, Cisco?
Okay, Sammy, this is gonna sound really weird, but honestly, it's the whole beginning. For me with Superman. Marlon Brando, just having a presence like Marlon Brando in the beginning of that is like really cool. And I also think like while the effects now look dated in that film, both the films, the effects look dated though, let's be honest. But I think in the first one, that beginning, yes, they look very dated, but it's trying a lot. It's definitely trying to do a lot. And I think that if you don't have that beginning with the strong presence that you have and kind of the sci-fi element, and then you don't really get the contrast with the human elements, that come later on in the film. So I'm going to say the beginning is still my favorite thing about Superman. Honestly, I know that's a crazy one to pick, but it's always been my favorite thing. I just love the white and, it's just, it's so cool. It's just, the direction there is just, it's fantastic. That's what I would say to that. So go ahead, Cisco. Favorite scene, Superman 2.
Like I said, it's been a long time since I've seen either of these movies. Yeah. I think that's why I couldn't, in good faith, put either on my list, because I rewatch all these other ones a lot more. That being said, I think there's like a street fight with like the villains in 2, where they're like, like on top of cars and stuff, and like going face to face with each other, and like that was like the first time that actually. Because in 1, you don't really have that. Like I said, it's more like Lex Luthor's not a superhero, like a supervillain. But like this time you get to see like, lifting cars and stuff, which is like a staple of like Superman now. And it's not like in the movies where they're just like smashing through buildings and stuff, or like throwing buildings at each other. Like it's practically done, and like some of them are dated, but I actually like kind of the charm of that. And like you see Superman get smashed into like a Marlboro truck, and stuff like that. And you see like the dent go in it, and it's like, I don't know, it just feels realer to me. And that's like the one scene that, I don't know, stands out from just memory, I guess, from 2. Yeah.
Damn, this is so freaking hard. I really don't know. Like I was hoping that would help, but like I still don't know. This is one of the hardest ones for me. Because I love both these movies so much.
Yeah.
But it's hard to pick.
I love both of them too, though.
Oh man. Yeah. I know. I think I might go 1. I might go Superman 1. That's where I'm leaning. I'm thinking, because for me, one of the like the scene that pops into my head first when I think of Superman is when like after him and Lois go on kind of like that first date where they're flying all around and everything, and then he brings her back and she like is gonna have a date with Clark, and so then he like comes in and she like runs out of the room for a second, and you like literally watch him like go from Clark Kent to Superman, and it is like one of the most beautiful moments. Like he doesn't say a word and you just know everything that's going on. That scene is incredible. And then in Superman 2, I love the ending. Also, these are all Superman Lois Lane related. So like
those are the best parts.
Me, sue me, whatever.
Those are the best parts.
They're the best parts. Sue me. But I love at the end of Superman 2 when she's going on about, you know, how like she's like, I just can't believe like I'm gonna have to sit here every day and pretend like I don't know who you are, and that's just gonna kill me inside. And then he kisses her and takes her memory away so she doesn't have to deal with that. Oh my god, I could cry.
Isn't 2 the one too where like
which one?
Isn't 2 the one where she's like he's like she finds out where he's Superman, where he's like he slips up or something? I can't, like I said, I haven't seen it. How does she find out again?
That's one, because it's something like like there's a whole thing where she like jumps over
something in a
into like a river,
right?
like she jumps into like a waterfall, being like he'll save me. And then later
I love that scene. That should have been my scene. That
scene's fucking incredible. Is that 1 or 2? I think that's 2, right?
I think that's 2,
right?
Oh, that should have been my pick.
This is so hard.
But yeah,
I love both
of
these movies. Oh my god. It's so hard.
I'll say one more thing.
I think I might go 1. I might go 1 though. But say your last thing.
Well, I was just gonna say, I think a lot of it for 1 too is just the simplicity of that story as well. I just love how it's it's honestly it's so accessible to just about anybody.
One of the best origin stories for sure. Yeah.
Oh, totally. And and for sure, really like the beginning, everything on Krypton, like that's insane. Great. Like people had never seen anything like that in movies before. That was incredible.
Maybe 2001: A Space Odyssey, but other than that, you're right.
Maybe, yeah.
You get to hear Marlon Brando say Krypton.
Yeah.
Mispronounce Krypton.
We love to see it.
It's always my favorite part when I see those early scenes. Yeah, it's so good.
But it's so good though, because like I remember feeling emotional when they send him off and Krypton's just going to pieces and they're watching their son go off. It's beautiful. Yeah. I think I'm gonna go 1. I think I'm gonna go Superman.
Okay.
It's with a heavy, hard heart, but I'm going. It could come back we have a wild card round. It could come back.
That's right.
But we're securing it at as the Superman slot. It is secured.
All right.
Okay, we're at the big boys. We are at the big boys. Again, are we counting Joker? Right?
Are we doing wild card or Batman round?
Batman first. Because then wild card will be everything that we didn't pick.
Yeah, you're right. Okay, yeah, let's do that.
So we have.
I mean, Batman, again, I'm gonna do with the two Dark Knights. I feel like either way, it has to be on the list somewhere. If it's not, I mean, so should we do Batman Returns versus Joker then? Should that be the? I don't know, because I feel like Dark Knight should be on the list.
Be up there,
like solidly.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay. But even I had it in my top 3, so you know what I mean.
Yeah.
So we all had it. Yeah, that's right. Yeah. We just had it number 1, but yeah, he had it at 3 too. So yeah, that definitely needs to be on there.
So yeah, here's the idea. So we'll vote for the rest of the Batman ones, and then we'll do a wild card pick, and then we'll vote if we think a wild card should take any of the other ones.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then that'll be the final list.
I'm going with God.
So we'll set the 5, and then we'll have a wild card pick, and then we'll see if we actually want to put it in there.
Okay.
All right. Batman 89, Batman Returns, or Joker? That is the question.
Who wants to go first?
It's Joker all the way. Again,
I know you're gonna go Joker.
I gotta give the edge there. I mean, honestly, it is. I think that. I love Michael Keaton. I love that performance. I love Jack Nicholson, and I love that performance too. But Joaquin, the amount that he did, I mean, there's just so much that you got to hand to him. I feel like, and I think that Todd Phillips. The thing is, Cisco, to your point on it being a remake of King of Comedy, is I understand where you're coming from. I guess the thing that I love about Joker so much is the fact that, even though it's kind of a replicant of that, we haven't had movies made like that since like King of Comedy. You know, it's been a long time since, you know, movies have been made like Joker. And to have it again in the modern day and done so well and executed so well, I think is unprecedented. And I think it needs to be acknowledged personally. So I'm going to go that. I'm going Joker.
Me? Is it my turn?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm guessing. Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna go Batman Returns again. Similar argument about Batman 2. I think it takes what Batman 89 did and just raises the stakes, raises the violence. Takes place on Christmas. Danny DeVito is fucking terrifying. I was like scared as shit of Penguin when I was a kid because he bites a guy's nose off. Best Catwoman to this day, like iconic transformation. Christopher Walken in this piece, like it's just the great cast. I love the chemistry between Batman and Catwoman in here. Like that's something I feel like really lacks in even the Nolan, like in the Nolan ones, is like there's no romantic like sway ever, and so you finally get that in Batman Returns, and like their chemistry is off the charts. I mean, yeah, for Joker, I just don't feel like it's that much of an accomplishment. Like if we're like say the Suicide Squad, how James Gunn makes a blockbuster trauma film. I respect that. You're taking elements that have already been done and you're remixing it and blending it in a new superhero movie. Like that takes a lot, and like I respect that. But like Joker, like this trend of just remaking old movies and just putting superhero characters in it, like I don't respect that as much because it doesn't take as much to do. You're just putting characters in the same exact situations.
Who else did that?
In proven outcomes.
You said the trend
King of comedy. Martin
Scorsese.
Scorsese.
Who else did the trend of doing that though? You said the trend of.
Yeah, people are just remaking old movies now. I can't think of one off the top of my head, but that you're gonna ignore that like Hollywood's lazy nowadays.
No, I'm talking about in the DC world, in the comic book world, who decided to like take the like a Scorsese type story and do it so well. That's my question.
I mean, yeah, I don't know. Todd Phillips, he just likes doing that. I don't know, but I can't think right now on the top. Like we're just you give me a second to think about it. I can probably think of one, but yeah, I don't know, but that would be like why Joker doesn't make my list, honestly. Like a great performance from Joaquin Phoenix, granted, but I like the old Michael Keaton. I think Michael Keaton needs to be on here in some capacity, honestly, because he's one of the best Jokers, if not the best, like to this day. So, but yeah.
I know, yeah, this is a hard one because my vote would be Batman 1989. So we're all out. So we're putting out one here.
Yeah, we don't have like a judge.
I don't have another non-partial phrase. And I do, if I have to pick though between Joker and Batman Returns, I do think I do have to pick Batman Returns though. I just think for all the reasons that you said already. And I do, again, like I do really like Joker.
It's all right.
And I do understand why people feel like it would be in the top 5, and I do respect it. I get it, but it's like that's not wrong. That's totally valid. I understand, but again, if you're asking me, I say Batman Returns.
All right, so we got to pick between these two now, right? Because you
right? So it's got to be.
You already said 89 would be yours.
Yeah, I would forego though for Batman Returns. I'm okay sitting or letting it go there, because again, while I love Jack Nicholson as the Joker and everything, I do love Michelle Pfeiffer Catwoman. Like, you know what, it balances themselves out for me.
Okay,
yeah,
go ahead.
So I say Batman Returns.
All right,
that's my vote. All right, that our Batman winner?
I guess so.
He Returns. All right, I already know Dom's pick for a wild card, but we do have a wild card pick. So that could be Batman 89, Superman 2, Watchmen, Snyder Cut, or Joker. Any of those. If anybody wants to fight for one of those. I'm kind of okay with the top 5 as it sits right now. So I don't know if I want to fight for any of those.
Wait, what's the top 5 as it sits right now?
What are wild cards?
So yeah, our top 5 as it sits. Yeah. So top 5 as it sits right now is Dark Knight, Batman Returns, Superman, V for Vendetta, and Wonder Woman.
Yeah, I'm cool with that, honestly.
Yeah, I'm cool with that list.
It's a solid list.
I mean, I'm gonna
honorable
lose.
mention Joker.
I'm gonna lose, so it doesn't matter.
I didn't want to do this elimination thing, now. This was your idea, bro.
I know.
No, anybody want to fight on that order? Anybody want to fight on that order? I feel like that sounds like a correct order.
One more time with that.
One more time.
Number 1, The Dark Knight. Number 2, Batman Returns. Number 3, Superman. Number 4, V for Vendetta. And number 5, Wonder Woman.
Yeah, I'm gonna actually argue Batman Returns, and I think Wonder Woman should, go in number 2. If we're gonna stick
I can be okay with that.
Because I think what Wonder Woman achieved was a lot. It achieved a lot more than Batman Returns. First of all, it's the first time that we tried to adapt a Wonder Woman that wasn't like absolutely campy throughout it. And I love the camp of Batman Returns, and I love the movie, so it's no disrespect to that movie. I just think that there's a lot of powerful achievements in what Patty Jenkins and Gal Gadot did with that. So I'm gonna actually argue Wonder Woman over Batman Returns for number 2.
I'll second that. Any pushback, Cisco?
Well, he said to swap them out, and so if we're doing that,
I mean, like push Wonder Woman to 2, and then Batman Returns would go to 3.
Yeah, I'm okay with putting
4, V for Vendetta 5.
Something in between Dark Knight and like Wonder Woman, and then Batman Returns, and then if we do it that way, then yeah, I'm cool with that.
So Dark Knight, and then Dark Knight number 1, Wonder Woman number 2, Batman Returns number 3, Superman number 4. Oh, I skipped one.
And V for Vendetta.
Yeah, so Dark Knight number 1, Wonder Woman number 2, Superman number 3. Or no, Batman Returns number 3, Superman number 4, Wonder Woman. Or no,
and then
V for Vendetta. Final list.
Number 5.
So Dark Knight, Wonder Woman, Batman Returns, Superman, and V for Vendetta. There we go.
All right, I'm good with that.
We happy with that? I'm good with that. That is a list.
Yeah, I'm happier with that. I should say that. I should put it that. Yeah, happier with that.
Yeah, you can live with that.
No, I mean, listen. I mean, I knew 100%. Snyder Cut probably wasn't going to make it. I knew Watchmen probably wouldn't make it. I knew anything Zack Snyder for whatever reason would not make it. But I
in my top 5.
Nothing personal. It's nothing. It comes down to taste and sensibility.
I personally think that Joker got treated unfairly tonight. I really do. But that's all right. I mean,
that's valid.
I feel like we have one Joker in our top 5 though, and you know what I mean.
Okay, what Joker do we have?
Heath Ledger, Dark Knight.
Oh yeah, sure. Yeah, good point. No, and I actually, by the way, I'm perfectly fine with that being number 1. I think a lot of people would agree with that statement. That's the best one. So I think that's fair.
And a lot of people are going to be mad that Joker
didn't make it.
List.
Yeah. So whatever, comment section. Yell at us. I don't care.
Say what you will. Say what you will. Feel your anger.
If you haven't seen King of Comedy, don't comment though, because I don't care what you have to say.
That's the only not valid.
Yeah.
If you've seen both and still like it that much, then sure.
But I'm thrilled that we got Wonder Woman on the list at all, because that was one I struggled not to put on my own. So yeah, I mean, I'm happy that we got to.
No, I've totally. I don't know for what reason I forgot to put that on my list, but yeah. Glad that came up. Oops.
Yeah.
I'm writing up our final list.
All right.
Trying to make it look nice.
Cool. Sounds good. Yeah, so I mean,
I'm happy with our list. I feel like we did justice.
It's fair.
We are the Justice League.
Justice League.
Like that.
Does Space Jam: A New Legacy count because it had Justice League in it? Can we revise it? Can we add that? I'd like to put that as number 1.
Erase this.
Honestly, though, that was the best part of that movie for me, was the animated Justice League showing up for like 2 seconds. I was like, well,
yeah,
at least there's that.
I liked when the credits rolled. That was my favorite part of Space Jam.
Same, that was so much fun.
And you knew the movie was over officially.
Yeah, I was happy with that. That was my favorite part.
You didn't want to stick around for a post-credit scene in that one?
No, not at all. Not at all.
Not waiting for Space Jam 3.
Yeah.
The newer legacy.
Yeah.
Even newer legacy.
I guess that's kind of an example, like where everything's a soft reboot. Like that's a soft reboot. They market it as a sequel, but I mean it's just a reboot.
No, I was just talking
Space Jam.
comic book movies. I thought you were saying
Oh
comic
yeah,
book
true.
movies was a trend.
No, I was just in general. Everything has to be IP
to
get made now.
I had a horse in the race at the time, so I was trying to be harsh.
So. No, I get it. This is like screen fight, movie fights. Remember?
Yeah.
This was legit movie fights. Now.
Now I don't have the horse in the race. Now my horse like fucking died. Just like went into the corner and died. He's done.
I had no plans. I was like Joker in Dark Knight. Do I look like a man with a plan?
I just love chaos.
I just want to see the world burn. Some men just want to see the world burn.
So we do have news that we could talk about, which is great.
And the news is the Dark Knight is still good.
I love the movie, man. It was in my top 3. Love it. Did you get her?
You can see it. Look at her. There she is. Look
Beautiful.
at this brute.
Beautiful.
This beaut.
Hold on. Hold it. I got to screenshot this.
Stunning.
Hold it up. Keep it up.
There we go.
Boom. Here we go.
There she is.
Boom.
There she is. Stunning.
Screenshot.
The official list.
I'm not. I think that's a really good
list.
list. All things considered, Dom, that is a great list, right?
Yeah,
I think that's
it's
really
good. Like
list.
I think it's good. I would boot V for Vendetta in a heartbeat, but I think it's good otherwise. I'm happy with it.
I'm really glad
Watchmen.
V for Vendetta actually.
I love
got
V
here.
for Vendetta, dude. Hugo
Me
Weaving in
too.
that is fucking amazing.
Good movie.
Oh my God.
I just don't think it's top 5.
Natalie
Jesus
Portman,
Christ.
the Portsman.
Yeah.
Right. It's just not top 5
Portsman.
DC, in my opinion, by any means. I put
Only
Aquaman
chick that
over
can look really hot bald.
If we weren't counting V for Vendetta, I would be okay with putting Joker at number 5.
I asked you guys too.
just
I
for the
was like,
record.
if does it count? Because I don't.
Yeah.
It counts.
Sure, but
It counts. I just wouldn't put it on.
But it
top 5
does.
myself.
And it's here. Yeah.
It counts. You argued it. You
Yeah.
won.
If it was not a part of the conversation, I could see Joker being
I like,
top 5.
and you
but
need
since
some
it's here,
difference. It would be boring if we had like
Yeah.
5 just DC superheroes.
all Justice
you know what I
League
mean?
members, basically.
Yeah.
I agree.
You got to have some spice in our list
I
to
agree.
to separate Anoraks from the other people.
Yeah, I agree.
Exactly. Some space.
I agree.
Some spice.
Oh, I like it.
A little spacey.
It's all good. But yeah,
Good
so
list making right there.
News. We have Star Wars Visions trailer just dropped, and I'm excited to talk about that. I think that this looks a lot more
cool.
fantastic than I thought it was going to. I mean, like I like that little featurette. I was like, this is interesting. It piqued my interest. Yeah, this trailer guy. I mean, it was amazing. I mean, it was really cool. I think it's really different, and I'm happy that they're kind of taking the risk to do this. I don't know that this is something that's going to appeal to everybody right at first glance, but I'm happy that they're trying it out, and I hope it works for them. I really do. I really think they're going to, attract a lot of anime fans over to Star Wars, and I think vice versa. They might attract a lot of Star Wars fans over to anime. And some of them already overlap, so that's the other cool thing about it. So, I'm thrilled, man. I think that this is cool. We got a lot of like Sithy lightsaber action going on in here. I'm down. It looks really awesome. I'm happy about it. What'd you think, Sarah?
I was actually kind of surprised by how much I liked it, because you dropped it in the group chat, and I was like, oh cool, a trailer, let's watch it. But I was like, this is
really
cool. This is going to make a lot of people very excited and very happy. Again, like I said, I'm not a big anime person. That's just not really my genre or thing really, but just because I haven't really had that much access to it, or that much I haven't seen the classics, I'm not that well versed in it. But this looked really cool. This looked a lot, again, it looked better than I thought it was going to look, because obviously I knew it was anime and that they were working with Japanese studios and everything, but I was like, oh, this is real. Looks really good, like real anime Star Wars. I'm excited. Looks good.
For sure. Cisco, what'd you think?
Yeah, like I'm not a huge anime person, so I feel like I really can't speak on this, like how it looks compared to other anime stuff, because I have no idea. Like I'm no foot in that world whatsoever. I will say, if we're talking like DC stuff, I loved Batman Ninja which basically put Batman in anime.
I'm happy.
I thought they did a great job with that. So if they can do that with like Star Wars, I mean, it looked cool, like anime lightsabers, like sure. I'm not sure if I'm gonna, be watching the show every week. But I mean, I'm happy for the anime fans.
Yeah.
It's like what you're saying, Dom. Like, yeah. And the Star Wars fans.
Yeah, I'm thrilled. I can't wait. I think it's
yeah.
I don't know. I mean, Bad Batch finale was so solid, man. I'm just so excited to see what comes next. I mean, it's gonna be good stuff. I think. I'm hoping, in Filoni we trust, so here we go. I'm ready. I'm ready.
Exactly.
I'm ready for it. Yeah, I mean, what else do we have, Sammy? Is there anything else that we can maybe talk about today?
Oh yeah, let me see. There's a couple other things. Again, speaking of Batman Returns, Danny DeVito is going to be writing a new Penguin story for DC. That looked cool.
Yes,
I'm interested.
That was a story. So it's going to be like he's writing a series of Penguin stories for an upcoming villains anthology.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's really cool. I hope they're going to be really good. I am obsessed with Danny DeVito. Me and my brother, that's just like a random thing. Like we love Danny DeVito. So I love this. I'm very excited. Anything Danny DeVito does, I'm here for it. I want to see it. Yes.
Yeah. I mean,
go ahead, Cisco.
That's not just you and your brother, Sammy. I mean, everybody loves
Danny DeVito. It's the world.
Like if you don't love Danny DeVito, there's something
our
wrong with you,
thing.
honestly.
Yeah,
because he's the best. Always Sunny, Batman Returns, Twins. The list just goes on.
Matilda,
but
the underrated gem. Wrote and directed Matilda.
There you go. Yeah, he's also directed. Yeah,
he's incredible.
He directed a lot of stuff too. So he's just super talented. Can't wait to see what he brings to that character. Once again after 30 years, because we just talked about how much I love Batman Returns. So yeah, stoked for that. Stoked to see that.
Yeah, I mean, this definitely piques my interest. I'm definitely, I'm gonna read it. I want to see how he does. I have no confidence, however, that this is gonna be good. Personally, just because. I mean,
damn. That's what you really think.
He hasn't proven himself in the comic book world, but this is the first time for everything, and maybe he'll do well with it. I just have no confidence this is going to be good. I'm a huge Danny DeVito fan as an actor, and I like Matilda. Come on, I mean Matilda's great, but
he's a writer and a director.
Yeah, and that's great. That's wonderful. I just in the comic book world, it's a different thing. And I just don't have any confidence this is going to be good, but I'm going to check it out. Don't knock until you try it, right? So we'll see. Hopefully it's good. I'm rooting for it.
I think Dom's still mad about Batman Returns making the list.
I know. He can't believe Batman Returns is on here.
It's like his low-key revenge.
I love Batman Returns.
I think it looks like it sucks.
I would have argued 89 over
Danny
it.
DeVito's nothing in this industry.
Yeah. I would have argued 89 over it, but I mean, it's all right. But either way, I think that, I mean,
I love the sequels, man.
Yeah. Sequels like 3 and 4, like
the sequel is so good, man.
Oh, you mean
is this a sequels friendly podcast or?
Yeah, 100%.
Is this a sequels apologist? What would the one comment say? Sequels apologist podcast.
When it comes to Batman 2 and Superman 2, yes, this is a sequels friendly podcast.
Have you seen
and
them?
Dark Knight? And Dark Knight's a sequel.
And Dark Knight.
Yeah.
And Dark Knight.
Do you watch movies? Yeah. I don't understand. Why would you say that? Have you seen Superman 2? I don't understand.
This is very true. Weirdly, though, I like Star Wars, the first one, more than the sequels, though. So
wow. You give some.
I can't. I don't know what that is.
I like A New Hope more than most of the sequels. Does that help? I mean,
I love A New Hope.
Yeah.
Only one that stands above it is Empire, in my opinion. But other than that, I mean, it's better than all the other sequels. So,
true.
Yeah. All right. What else do we got?
Yeah.
Let me see. We got Clerks 3. We got a picture, our first photo from Clerks 3.
Movies.
Looking pretty fly.
Let's go.
Dude, I was wearing a movie shirt.
I've only seen the first Clerk, so when I saw Rosario Dawson in here, I was like, "What is she? Is she new? Is she a new character?" And I was like, "Oh no, I'm just the one behind."
Gotta watch Clerks 2.
I know, gotta watch Clerks 2. Speaking of sequels, honestly, I know I want to. There's a lot of Kevin Smith that I just gotta.
I love Rosario Dawson.
I know I got really excited. I was like, love her. I feel like her vibe really clicks with Kevin Smith, and
Oh,
obviously
man.
it does because it's second time.
I didn't know
Her
she
and
was going to
Dante.
be back, honestly. Like, I was surprised just to see her back. I actually didn't know she was a part of this, too. I just thought it was going to be Dante and Randall.
Wasn't she in Reboot?
Bob. No, I don't think so. Was she?
Wasn't she the
Yeah, she was. Holy
lesbian
shit, that's
couple?
right. Yes, she was.
lesbian
I
couple?
forgot about that.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
So
I kind of suspected she might be in 3 because I was like, if she's in that, she's going to be in that just for like a small part. Then she's still cool with Kevin Smith. He still has her number.
Good point.
You know,
Mm-hmm.
or her agent's number.
Well, I was hoping she was filming Ahsoka, so but I was hoping she was busy. But
course, yeah.
I'm glad she's back. Honestly, like I liked her in Clerks 2 a lot, and I'm happy to see her back. For
Oh
this.
my god, dance scene, dude! The Jackson 5 dance scene.
Oh,
Sorry,
amazing,
Sammy,
incredible.
But that's the best part of Clerks 2 is she has a dancing scene in it.
It's incredible. It's incredible. Yeah,
really good.
Yeah, she's great.
And I was just gonna say because I went to the state fair on Sunday and I wear like this movies shirt. They did a movies like Brewers crossover shirt, and like not one person fucking said anything. I'm like, Jesus. I'm like, no movies fans, no Clerks fans over here. But yeah,
well, I love compliment around here.
I love Kevin Smith and the Clerks movies. Those are some of his best for sure. So
yeah, I
can't wait for this one too.
Yeah.
Dude, what's his name? I almost didn't recognize that kid from Clerks 2. He looks so different.
Yeah, he does. I agree. Yeah.
I had to look it up. I'm like, is that the kid?
Yeah.
Holy shit. That puberty kicked that guy's ass.
Yeah. Oh shit, is that really?
That is the kid in Clerks 2, yeah. In the picture. Do you want to pull it up, Dom? Can you pull up the picture? I feel like we should
let me try.
show people.
Let me give it a shot.
Okay.
Give it the old college try.
It's really
jarring.
Like,
I don't know this third person.
Let's see.
They all look kind of similar except for him. Like he's the one where I was like, who's that? I was like, is he a new character? But he's like one of the best parts of Clerks 2 also because like they keep fucking with him for like liking Lord of the Rings and stuff and get into these nerd debates.
That's funny.
About what is it, Star Wars versus Lord of the Rings?
Like,
that's
he's
what
like,
they're fighting
the only
about.
return is Return of the Jedi or something along those lines. It's the best.
Dom, basically.
There you go.
So that's Clerks 2.
Dang,
that kid on
man.
the left. Look at the kid on the left. And it's funny because they're all in the same position in the Clerks 3 photo. If you pull up Clerks 3, they're all in the same spot.
Yeah.
Dang, man.
Love it.
Wow.
Holy that's shit. Clerks.
When did Clerks 2 come out?
So do Clerks 3 now.
I did the wrong one. My bad. I thought that was
Clerks 2 was like 2006.
They don't have it for some reason. I can't find it now. Where'd that article come from?
CBR.
Okay, Clerks 3 photos, CBR. Yeah. Let's see if we can find it.
Or I think Kevin Smith posted
there it
on
is.
Like his Instagram.
There it is.
There it is.
Kind of hard to move this, but yeah. Can't really see.
But
like
they are in the same position. Yeah.
They are. Try enlarging it down because the kid is cut off.
Yeah, I know. I'm working on it. Oh, that didn't do it. Oh, hold on, guys. I'm working on this.
This bad podcasting.
I know. Thank you for listening on Spotify. I know this has been riveting.
There he is. Look, you can see on the bottom left.
Yeah.
He does look different. That is wild.
He got old.
That's wild.
Yeah.
I mean, they all did, but it's just weird seeing
like
he was like a skinny like teenager, like skinny nerdy teenager. Now he looks like a grown man.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm excited for this. Regardless, I'm happy. I'm excited for this. I think it's going to be good. I'm hoping it's going to be good. I went to a reboot, so.
Yeah, I went to a movies pop-up shop like a couple months ago.
Yeah, you were telling us about
that. Was really cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You were telling us about that.
I think I mentioned on the show.
Yeah.
So that's where I got that shirt, and like I think I have like a cup or something back there, movies cup. But yeah, Clerks. If you haven't seen it, I was like talking to the bartender because he was like said he never saw any of the movies, and I was like, all right, start with Clerks. I was like, start with Clerks. That's an easy entry. And then it's the Clerks, and then you can go from there because I feel like that's a good. Would you agree with that, Dom? So like a good starting point.
Yeah. I think so.
Because like the other ones, you get like a little more wild, you know.
Yeah.
It gets a little.
It's
a
too much
little
of
crazy.
like a
Like
shell shock. Yeah.
Yeah.
You wouldn't want to start with like Dogma. Like Dogma's a lot.
Oh hell no.
But it's good.
Hell no. Yeah. No, Dogma's crazy.
So,
it's bonkers, but it's great.
Yeah.
Yeah. I agree.
So,
I agree
yeah.
with that.
But yeah, Clerks is like one of his more traditional but really good ones. Some people think that's like his only good movie. Honestly, critics didn't really like all of his other movies.
Those people haven't seen Chasing Amy.
Whatever.
That's what I have to say.
Or Chasing Amy. That's the other critically
yeah.
acclaimed one.
It's so good, man. It's so good.
Yeah.
I can't tell you guys. By
he gets a lot of hate for some reason.
Who does? Kevin Smith? Oh yeah.
Kevin Smith.
He-Man.
Yeah, I don't get
That's
it.
why nobody liked He-Man. Remember? That's why.
I was like,
before
what about the
that-
20 plus years of a career this
People
man has been
hated him
giving
before
us
that.
films?
Yeah.
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 Mhm.
I agree.
That's insane.
I
How
love
do you
Kevin.
hate Kevin Smith? That man like is the film industry. You know what I mean? I feel like on a certain level, like
independent.
he
film
is the
industry, for
independent
sure.
film industry. He
Right.
really is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, for sure.
Ugh.
He's great.
How could you hate him? I don't
Yeah.
get it.
Yeah.
Even Tusk. I like the newer. He's still doing it. I love Tusk a lot.
Yeah.
If you haven't seen that horror movie with Justin Long,
I own that
it's
horror
really good.
movie with Justin Long. I love
Yeah.
Tusk. I know. I'm in the minority maybe, but I love that movie. I thought it was great.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
I got bad reviews too, and I'm like, are you guys kidding me? This is fucking super unsettling.
Crazy
It's a really good horror
unsettling.
movie.
It's very disturbing.
Yeah.
That's for sure. That ending, man. It's like, oh man, it almost hurts my heart in a way. you
And the
know?
story behind it, like once you find out like how he came up with that too, it like
Oh,
makes
yeah.
me appreciate it even more that
Oh, yeah.
he pulled that movie off just off of like podcasting. Like that's crazy. Man.
Right.
Wow.
Right.
Yeah.
Who was one of the producers was like, because Kevin asked him, he's like, why in the hell did you give me this money to do this? And the producer was like, honestly, I just wanted to see if you could do it. It's like that's
Well,
and
he
it
gets
makes
good
sense.
actors to do it. That's why it
Yeah.
works.
Yeah.
It makes
Justin
sense.
Long,
He's an
and the
incredible
other dude are
director.
Yeah.
really good.
Yeah.
It makes sense because it's such an off the wall idea. I mean, I'd almost, if I had that kind of money, I'd be like, shit, I'll invest in that just to see if it pulls it off or not.
We need more of that. That's what I'm saying. I'm sick of reboots and sequels and remakes. Like fucking, I'll take a
'Cause that's-
A24 Tusk movie any
Yeah.
day. I'll take a Green Knight
Yeah.
over any.
Oh, yeah.
That's why Green Knight's one of my favorites. I'm like,
Yeah,
point me to
Green Knight
something
was
that's
amazing.
even remotely close to Green Knight that came out in the
Right.
past like 5 years, 10 years.
Yeah. No, it's amazing.
Yeah.
It's,
It's
a
so
great movie.
different.
Great film. 100%.
Because it's true, like if you just
Yeah.
need to find good directors that know what they're doing, and then 9 times out of 10, like the movie will be really good and it will make you money. But like nobody just wants to take that first chance. Because they're like, well, it's not a franchise, so I don't know if they wanna, or it's not $100 million
Not IP.
movie, so I don't know if it's not IP, so I don't know if we can take
Yeah.
that risk right now. Like they'll probably make you a really good movie. You might get Oscars out of this. Who knows? But they'll never know because they don't want to take those risks.
Right.
I think Kevin Smith they wouldn't because they don't respect him as a filmmaker, unfortunately. But
Biggest bullshit.
like maybe
I've
at the
ever
end of his
seen.
career they might like he'll have like a pity,
yeah.
pity Oscar. You know what I mean? Something
Oh
like
my
that.
god, there
but,
should be
yeah.
like do you guys remember when John Hughes got he was honored at the Oscars and they did this
yeah.
huge like 10-minute montage and all the
It's
actors
like you guys
came
didn't
out
like
and like
him.
yeah, but like
guys
if we could do
never
this
showed
for
him.
John Hughes, why can't we do this like I'd
he was
expecting
alive.
something like that for Kevin Smith in my lifetime. Like you better not wait until Kevin Smith passes
Well,
away for this to happen because like
yeah.
people like him deserve to like have 10-minute montages of their work shown at the Oscars and they just don't.
But it's like give them their flowers when they're still around. Like Kevin
Yes.
Smith almost died, and like
Yeah.
people just don't give him his
Yeah,
credit. And
it's
it's
true.
like or like I was listening to a podcast about like Argo, which like Ben Affleck directed and won Best Picture for, but because the Academy doesn't like Ben Affleck, he didn't get nominated for Best Director that year,
Mhm.
which is crazy because
Yeah.
usually you look at like 90% of the time,
Mhm.
Best Picture always gets nominated for Best Director, but they don't like Ben Affleck. So it's like he's another one where it's like
Mhm.
they don't respect him as a filmmaker or an actor.
Yeah.
I don't think he's gotten nominated for acting either. And like there's a bunch of roles that you could
Totally.
nominate Ben Affleck
That's
for.
one of
for
my biggest
sure.
pet
Like,
peeves when they
so
nominate
crazy. They're super biased
Yeah.
in some actors.
when they nominate best picture and not like director or not an actor or anything or in screenwriting or anything. I'm like, so the movie just made itself then. You really think this movie just magically appeared in front of you one day? I'm like, how are you like, this is one of the best movies of the year, but the director, nah, he wasn't that good. Like, how? So it just made itself? Like, I don't understand that logic. But again, it's not logic. It's popularity contest and stuff. It's like, oh well, we don't like him, so no nomination this year in Best Director. It's wild. Yeah.
Oh, by the way, Dom, speaking of Ben Affleck, I did not like Smoking Aces.
Oh, really? Did you at least think Ryan Reynolds was good?
No.
Really?
I didn't like him either.
He was amazing in that movie. I don't know how you didn't think he was good.
I think he was in a completely different movie than everybody else. Like, he was in a cop drama.
I can see that argument, but he's great in that drama.
Smoking Aces is like a hitman, like, wannabe Guy Ritchie Tarantino movie. But Ben Affleck was particularly bad in that movie, too, is what I'm trying to say. Like, he's doing, like, a Chicago accent, and it's like a Bostonian Chicago. Like, I was like, I've been to Chicago a couple times. I don't know what Boston area of Chicago that Ben Affleck was chilling at when he did that movie. Like, we got a couple of gangsters here. It was like super corny. You know, I was like, oh God. That was a rough period of, I don't know. I'm not a fan of that 2000s era of action, dude. Like, they're all wannabe Guy Ritchie, wannabe Tarantino, and I'm like, I'd just rather eat prime rib rather than getting all these fucking these like lesser meats, you know what I mean, that are like not this quality. Like, I haven't been really enjoying them, the ones I've been catching up on.
I think your internet's all messed
Joe
up.
Carnahan's really good though
right now. Oh no,
can you hear me still?
No, I could hear you. Your internet like it froze you for a second. You're good. You're back.
Yeah, Joe Carnahan though is a really like good director. That was like early in his career. He's done way better movies since then. Yeah,
for sure. It's not his best movie. I wouldn't put that. No, not by any means. I do like it, but it's not his best.
I think I would say like Narc or The Gray. Those are like my two favorites.
I think The Gray is my favorite personally. I love The Gray.
Yeah, I would say The Gray too, probably. But so good. Liam Neeson versus Wolves. Come on,
it's great. It's fucking good. People misunderstood The Gray so much. They like misunderstood the point of that movie too, and it makes me upset. I'm like, come on, guys.
Well, they got mad at the marketing and like they blame the movie for that. Yeah. And it's like the marketing has nothing to do with. They're like, well, it showed him fighting the wolves in the trailer. Yeah. It's like, well, that's not in the movie. Get over it. It's way better than that. It's a way better movie than that. So,
love The Gray. Gray's the shit.
That's so good.
Yeah, I want to talk to you guys about I wish I could. You're not caught up with about the Bad Batch so much though, and how great that finale was, and just oh my gosh, the implications it has on Mandalorian is insane. Like, which by the way, you guys won't even catch. It's like you got to be like pretty well versed in the legend stuff to like understand like why it has implications on the Mandalorian. But like, let me just say, I'm so excited for what's gonna come now. With the Mandalorian and all that, like it's gonna be great based on what happened at the end of Bad Batch. I could say this, okay, I guess I could say this because it's not an actual spoiler, so I'll put it this way. There's this mountain in the finale, and this mountain is a cloning facility, and in Legends lore, this mountain was made to use or was used to actually clone Luke Skywalker himself. I don't know if they're going to do that, but I have a feeling that maybe they are. And if that's the case, it kind of raises the question, did the actual Luke Skywalker come get Grogu at the end there? Or was that a clone?
Was it a clone?
Right. Because they used the mountain from Legends that they actually cloned Luke Skywalker. Now that they brought that cloning facility into canon in the Bad Batch, that's like, for people who know Legends, it makes us think. It's like, oh, if they're going to cherry pick from that storyline, that does raise a big question there. That would also explain the bad deepfake if he was a clone too. So you got that covered. Just throwing it out there.
That way.
Just throwing it out there. You know, it could make sense. Yeah, so it's interesting. It makes me wonder. But
can I get your guys? Okay, go ahead. Sorry.
Well, no, I just wanted to throw out there. Please watch the Bad Batch ASAP. It's so good. When you get to the finale, and again, there's one or two episodes in that series that I really wasn't huge on, but it's all worth it to get to the finale. And once you get there, like, oh my gosh, it's so beautiful. I almost cried at the end. It was just so amazing. It was great. Anyway, go ahead.
I'll get to it for sure. Even though I just started What If now.
Which I hear is a
Saturday
piece
matinee.
of shit. Everybody tells me it's awful. So
Really?
No, what if?
yeah.
Who said that? Who's saying that?
I've talked to 3 of my friends. Each one of them told me it's the shittiest thing Marvel's ever done. So
whoa.
We'll see.
Okay, it's not like Black Widow or WandaVision. It's an animated series for sure, but whatever. Yeah. Okay, real quick while we're here. I really liked that episode of What If. I'm really excited for where they're going. It was very much I see what you mean by like
I liked it too.
I did feel a little bit like this felt a little toned down. Like it felt like something that should be on like Disney Channel or like Disney XD, something like that.
Yeah.
But it was still really great. It was still like the upper echelon of that level. Like it was the best something like that could have been. I loved that episode of What If. I'm really excited for it. It's really cool. I really like it. What the hell, people?
All right.
I should watch it, Dom, because it was good.
I'm gonna watch it. I just haven't gotten around to it.
Yeah.
So I'm not sold from what everybody's told me about it. It's not sounding good to me.
Nah, it was good.
It took me 2 times to really like appreciate it, I guess, too. That was another one because I think I wasn't like in the mood the first time or I don't know. But yeah, I do think like even on the second time it does like have some pacing issues and stuff, which I think they'll probably iron it out as the season goes on. But I still liked it. I still thought it was a good like start, and I've heard from other people that the next 2 episodes are like even better.
Yeah.
So like I haven't like jumped ship yet.
I know the next one I think is
the people that saw it.
T'Challa with Star-Lord, I think is the next one.
Right. I saw.
Oh no, I think the next one is What If. Yeah, that one. I'm really hyped. I'm just very hyped for this next one because I'm like that's insane.
Yeah, Black Panther.
What do you mean? What if Black Panther was Star-Lord? Oh my god.
I did hear from the critics that hated this first episode that the next 2 are actually better because they actually got the screeners for them. So yeah, I don't know. We'll see. I just like I said, I haven't been sold on it, but I'll watch it. I'm gonna give it a shot. But yeah.
I just wanted to get your guys' opinions on because like there's like a whole Twitter war right now going on. So but basically Denis Villeneuve was like interviewed about Dune and he was saying that like I'll just read you the quote.
Okay.
Because okay. He said, quote, "The enemy of cinema is the pandemic. I understand that the cinema industry is under tremendous pressure that I get. The way it happened, I'm still not happy. Frankly, to watch Dune on a TV is like driving a speedboat in a bathtub." And so yeah, he like came out with that and like people they're like kind of, I don't know, there's like there's 2 different sides to it that are like going back and forth on Twitter right now. Like one is like, okay, obviously yes, the cinema is the best way to see it, but there's also, yes, what you just said, a pandemic going on right now, the Delta variant. There's still people live in places where theaters are shitty or like, people talk during the whole movie, like basically like almost glorifying the theater experience more than it is, which directors tend to do. And then the other side's like, of course he would do that, you know what I mean, because he's a director and he wants people to see it on the biggest screen possible. And whatever. And it's like, I don't know, like what do you guys think about that? There's like,
okay,
because like I said, there's a whole Twitter thing going on about that right now. I just wanted you guys to weigh in.
So I don't know. Okay, so first of all, as far as the desire to see it on IMAX, I don't know why anybody would want to watch it any other way. That baffles me that anybody would even want to check it out on HBO Max. It's Denis Villeneuve. If you've seen Blade Runner 2049, any of his movies really, why would you even want to watch it on HBO Max? This thing is it's an IMAX watch 100%. This is Star Wars for adults. You got to see it in the IMAX. This is going to be incredible. I mean, this is going to be one. I mean, I don't know. Maybe the movie is going to suck. I don't know. But I'm saying, like, visually, it's not going to suck. Like, that's for sure. Based on the trailers, we all know this is going to be such a spectacle visually. You have to see this in the IMAX. As far as, like, the desire, I mean, I don't know why you'd want to watch it any other way. The pandemic's a different thing, though, because you're throwing in a wrench. So, I think my honest opinion, it's a different conversation altogether, but my honest opinion right now, where I stand, is if you're vaccinated, go to the fucking theater. You have the option to be vaccinated. The optionated to be vaccinated. You have the option to be vaccinated. Go to the theater. I mean, I don't see the big deal. I think that, especially now that theaters are starting. I know they're not doing this everywhere. They'll probably never do this in Indiana, but they're doing it in like New York and Los Angeles. You have to have a vaccine card to get into the theater now. So I think it's
wear masks. They're doing masks again.
And even if you have to wear a mask,
places.
if you're vaccinated, I think wear a mask if that makes you feel more comfortable. And get back to the theater. I think it's time we get back to the theater. And I think that this HBO Max thing is great for certain things, but never doubt Denis Villeneuve. I think that he is worth the $12 or whatever that you pay to go see an IMAX movie. I honestly, I do. And I don't know why anybody would want to see it any differently. I think that this film is going to be absolutely incredible. I have no doubt in it. It could suck again, but visually, again, why would you want to see it any other way? I think it's made for the IMAX, and I can't blame Denis either for wanting people to see it that way. I think he's trying to send out a message like, "Hey, kind of got screwed on this HBO Max thing. Will you please go send it out onto the theater or send it out and watch it on the big screen, the IMAX more specifically?" And I don't think it's any different than Dave Chappelle asking people to boycott Netflix or whatever or HBO Max when they put his whole show on there without his permission and not paying him for it, and everybody did for Dave. He got his way on that. People did boycott that, and I think that it's the same thing with Denis. It's not his fault that this is being put in the IMAX. Not our fault either. Or I'm sorry, being put on HBO Max. Not our fault either. But on the same hand, it's like, if you are a diehard film fan and you love Denis Villeneuve, even if you don't love Denis Villeneuve, I think that this is worth going to the IMAX to see. And Dune is in an unfortunate position right now because this is a franchise that has been trying to get off the ground forever and has deserved to have gotten off the ground for a long time and just never had a filmmaker that could really see it through properly. And Denis is the guy to do it. I think we can all agree. If anybody's going to bring this to light in the best way, it's going to be Denis Villeneuve. And if we don't go out to the theaters, this isn't getting the sequel that it deserves. I'm going to tell you that too. And we need the sequels because this is going to be one of those movies that we're all probably going to watch. We're all probably going to think it's incredible. And we're all probably going to want a sequel. If you watch it on HBO Max and want a sequel desperately and then don't get it, it's like, well, I'd say you're part of the problem in that way. You didn't pay to go see it, and you should. This is an IMAX watch 100%. Go check it out in IMAX. That's what I say.
He also has a quote on that, which I'll just say real quick.
Sure.
But he said, you guys can say this is BS or not, but he said he is very, very optimistic he'll get to make Dune's second half. Studios will need a really bad outcome at the box office to not have a Dune Part 2 because they love the movie.
Yeah, and I'm afraid for that because of what happened to Blade Runner 2049, you know what I mean? Because that's a masterpiece of a movie that he made that people didn't go see in the theater and they should have, and I think that's, I get it, like how people work and casual viewers work, if they don't hear about it, like Dune is new to a lot of people out there, let's be honest, but I'm trying to do my part as a movie fan on this show, and
it is IP though. I guess Blade Runner was too. I guess
Blade Runner is too. So exactly. So it's like I'm trying to do my part as a movie fan who runs a podcast to talk to casual viewers and say, hey, listen, this is something you're going to want to go see in the theater. If you see it any other way, you're nuts. And you'll probably watch it at home and go, this probably would have been better in the theater, And also, when you watch it at home, you're probably going to think it's amazing. It's going to have a cliffhanger. We know it's like the first half of the first book. And it's going to be something you're going to want a sequel for. Go see it in the theater. Get the box office numbers up. See it in the theater. We have the option now to be vaccinated. You can wear a mask if it makes you more comfortable, but this is something that you need to see. So I don't know, Sammy, your take. I talked way too
Also,
much.
wait real quick. This is doing it so it's gonna be just the first half of the book.
First half of the first book.
Yeah,
I didn't know that.
We're getting a cliffhanger.
Interesting.
Yeah, so you're gonna want a sequel. Yeah.
Interesting.
I don't know why they didn't shoot it back to back, but I guess maybe Warner Brothers didn't give them the money, or they didn't want to pull the trigger. But
because that
I think
shows
that might
you
have
right
been a
there
mistake, honestly, because now
yeah. Well, that shows you right there that they're gambling on it, right? Because they're like, well, we'll see how it does. So that's the problem. That's why I'm telling everybody, get out there to the theater, watch this in IMAX. Let's get this movie. Let's make it money. You know what I mean? Let's see that sequel. Let's see the franchise live on, especially if it's as good as I'm hearing it is, and all that. And I think it will be. I think Denis is the perfect guy for this. But Sammy, sorry, go ahead. Or
also,
Cisco,
a part of me is just like, can we make sure that all the people are a part of me is like, can we make sure that all the people who are rushing to read this book before the movie comes out knows that it's just the first half of the book? Because I can just imagine like rushing to read this book before the movie comes out and finishing it like the night before I see it, and then it's just the first half and being like, are you kidding me?
Yeah,
you're kidding me. I had a year to finish it. So I feel like we need to tell those people to make sure they know.
For sure.
But yeah, just a side note, because I would be a little, if that happened to me, I'd be like, are you fucking kidding me right now? Denis, are you kidding me? Anyway, but on this whole thing, I think it's weird because it comes down to, for me, like kind of like aesthetic integrity versus like accessibility, and the fact that we are in a pandemic right now. Because like on one hand, Denis Villeneuve is very much obviously all about like his artistic intent and the integrity of his work being shown in the most effective way. Like he knows that if you see this movie on a big screen in IMAX, you will feel differently than if you watch this at home on your regular TV. Yeah. Like he just knows that, and that's part of the
I think people
artistic
know that too,
integral intent. And people know that too, exactly.
Yeah.
100%. So I also the fact that he makes more money if you see the movie in the theaters versus if you see it on HBO Max. So there is no reason for him to be encouraging you to watch this on home and HBO Max. There's no reason he would want you to do that. However, like you guys said, it's the other half of this is that it's really hard to tell people, for me at least, to be like, you have to go see this in a theater if you can. Like obviously, like Dom, you said, like obviously if you're vaccinated, if you feel comfortable, if you're in a good spot, if wearing a mask makes you feel comfortable, wear the mask.
Yeah, but, like, I understand there's caveats. I understand there's caveats and there's areas that are worse and all that. But anyways, go ahead, Sam.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
But I just think it's hard for me to be like, if you can go see it in a theater when it is available, when they did make it available for no extra charge on HBO Max. Like it's a hard place to put audience members and consumers. Like, do you want to make the director more money but put yourself at risk, or do you want to be 100% safe and save yourself a bit of a buck, but maybe Denis Villeneuve doesn't make as much money? That's a really complicated thing to tell audience members, because again, most of them are going to be like, well, hell, I'm just going to watch it at home then. It doesn't matter. But again, the caveat there is then you're missing out on that theatrical experience, which I 100% agree is the way you should watch all your movies, and especially these big movies. But again, it's hard to be like, so I'm going to pay for this experience where I'll be unsafe so that way some filmmakers can make a little bit more money. That's a hard place to ask, especially Americans at this time during a pandemic. It's complicated. I get where he's coming from, and it makes sense why he would say what he's saying. I just think it's really hard to, for me, it's weird and hard to be saying stuff like that in the middle of a pandemic. Like things are just very weird and hard for most people right now. Don't be peer pressuring them to go to the theater when times are tough right now. That's what I think.
I want to push back on one point though that you made, because the one thing I would say to about Denis making money off this, I don't know what his back end deal is now, but I know that it got slashed tremendously. The other thing is that we got to remember is Denis actually already got his payday. Now it's all about his back end compensation, which I get that it's not that he's going to make zilch off of it, but I'm saying like it's been slashed tremendously. I think it's more about making sure the movie makes money, not him so much. It's more about making sure the movie makes money so we can get more of them.
Yeah.
That's where I come from on it. It's, you know, because again, like, he's already gotten his payday, and his back end deal, he's not making zilch off it, but his back end deal did get slashed tremendously when the move was made to get it put on HBO Max. They came to a compromise and an agreement on that, but he won't make nearly as much as he wanted to in the first place. I think he's honestly coming from a place of, you know, get this movie money, you know, make sure this movie makes money, because I do want to make more of these. I think that's where he's coming from. And also, like you said, Sammy, the experience of it too. A beautifully well put point, though, everything you said there. I was just wanting to make sure people know, like, I think it's a little bit less about him making money too. So
no, right, 100%. I 100% agree with that. Yes.
I think too, like, you guys all made good points. But it's like, the HBO Max thing is tough because it's like, so we are in this bubble, this film bubble, where we know who Denis Villeneuve. I cannot talk today. I'm sorry. Denis Villeneuve is, and like, we know what Dune is, but like I wonder, like, if the average person knows what Dune is and has read the book or seen the original movie, and like, I do feel like they stacked the cards in their favor by like having all of these people in the cast that, like, it's a stacked cast, like amazingly stacked cast. But I worry that that's not going to be enough, because I saw Blade Runner 2049 like a bunch of times, and like, and I saw it fail like tremendously at the box office because, and you know, people thought, I mean, like, it's kind of the same thing too, because that's a movie from the 80s with like stars in it that no one went to see. It's a big sci-fi movie. And I worry that that's going to happen again. And that's with the caveats too of people can see it for free on HBO Max. And like, we value the theater experience, yes, but at the same time, there's the regular person that she's just going to be like, well, why would I do that when I can just stay at home? Why would I take my family and pay like $50 for my family to go see this when I could just see it at home with them? And that's going to have an impact for sure. Like, that's impacted every single movie that's come out this year already. So like, I get it. I get that he has to say this kind of stuff because, like, you know, like you said about the back end stuff, but like, it didn't work for Nolan with Tenet, and I don't think it's going to work for Dune, is like my point. Like, I just think this is a different time. People are slowly returning to the theaters, but to expect big blockbuster numbers at this point, nothing has done what it's supposed to have done in a regular year. It's just not going to happen.
Well, I think the other thing that we got to remember too is we needed to make, in this pandemic era, we needed to make enough to where we can gauge it on a non-pandemic era. You know what I mean? So like, I would say for Dune, this is going to sound crazy, but I would say for Dune, if it makes 80 million as a whole, I think that's going to get a sequel. Because we are in a pandemic, and they're going to gauge it based on that, because they're going to gauge it based on the numbers that it would make if there weren't a pandemic. You know what I mean?
Because, like, what did
what else does Warner Brothers have this year that would warrant a sequel? You know, it's been pretty bad.
It's been a pretty rough year. All the HBO Max drops have been kind of hit
pretty lackluster.
Suicide Squad was great.
But you know, like what did Cruella do? Cruella didn't make that big of numbers, and that's like Cruella didn't make that big of numbers, but it's getting a sequel.
They're getting a sequel.
It did enough to do.
Well, that's Disney too, though. Disney like farts money.
But they're also,
but still, you know,
Cruella.
There has been movies that have come out that have gotten sequels.
I mean, Cruella, and then you also have to think with too, even with Cruella, even if it didn't make as much as you would need Dune to make, Cruella didn't cost as much as it did to make Dune. You know what I mean? So they're gonna gauge it on that too. And Suicide Squad, for example, like we were talking about this last week or something, like 26.5 million. That's a flop even in a pandemic era. Like that's a bad number for opening weekend. Although that movie luckily has had an increase now. We're up to 118 million. Let's go. I'm happy. But you know, that's neither here nor there. I guess my point is you know, we needed to make a certain number. We don't need it to be $1 billion film. If it would be a $1 billion film, that'd be incredible. I mean, that'd be, you're definitely getting a sequel, but It's probably not going to make that. I don't expect that. My expectation is not $1 billion here. It's not even 100 million, to be honest. I think like 80.5 million would suffice to get another one of these. I don't know what they're looking for in the sort of
hopefully they're lowering their expectations for sure.
Yeah.
And like I do think there is something too, because people were saying about like glorifying the theater experience, because I have so many horror stories about the theater, and like I mean I go so often, like I don't have like an IMAX by me, for example. So like him saying like go see it in the IMAX to everybody, like that's not realistic for everyone to go see it in the IMAX. And I'm not traveling 2 hours to see it. I'm sorry. I'm not committed as you are. Then like I just saw Don't Breathe 2, and like, you know, there was people like talking and being annoying in the theater. But, you know, luckily that was a dog shit piece of movie making, so I didn't really care. Right. But like that stuff happens all the time. It's like maybe some people prefer not to experience that and would just rather watch at home. And I don't blame them, honestly. Like the setups for TVs are so nice nowadays too. It's like you can't be mad at people for staying at home either. 100%. For various reasons.
I understand
That's one of many reasons.
I understand that. And I mean, Dune, I'm a little bit more gung-ho about people going, for sure, because of what it means, you know, if it does do well. But, you know, and the thing is too, and I'm also coming from a place of, you know, we were talking about that article the other day about, you know, if we keep up just watching movies at home, we're not going to get movies that make like actual money, you know, meaning that the quality of the movie is going to drop. And I'm afraid of that too. Maybe I'm an old man here.
You think Shang-Chi is going to do good?
Yeah, I think it'll do well. I don't think it'll be $1 billion hit.
I think it'll do all right.
I think it'll do.
I'm kind of worried about that one too.
I know, I'm a little worried.
Based on,
I think it'll do all right. I don't know if it's gonna knock anything out of the park, but I'm also a little worried about Shang-Chi. I think it might underperform, and people might freak out about that.
I think it'll be I think it'll be a 45 million opening weekend. That's my guess for Shang-Chi. I'm gonna go 45 million opening.
Think it'll do better than Black Widow?
Yeah, a little bit.
See, that's the thing. I don't know if it does better than Black Widow.
Yeah,
I don't know. I can't see it doing better than Black Widow.
I think it does. I think the word of mouth on this has been too good. Black Widow got like a lot of negative press around it. Like this one didn't. This one's getting outstanding press behind it, and it seems like everybody I talked to outside of you two has been super stoked on it. So, yeah, I think.
I'm stoked about it. Oh, okay. I just am thinking realistically. Yeah.
I think realistically, it actually has a $45 million opening weekend. I might be wrong, but that's my guess. That's I think that's a fair guess too. I mean, yeah, I think there's something to the Asian, you know, community, or something for the Asian community too, and there's something to be said about that with this one too. Because you know that's a big deal for them, you know, to see them represented in this movie as well. And yeah, I mean, there was something big with Black Widow, you know, but with having, you know, female led, but you know, in the MCU finally, we had that with Captain Marvel though, you know, so it's like it's not the first time we had that. I love Black Widow, by the way. That's not a statement on the quality of the movie. I love that movie, but
yeah, she's like an OG character though. It's like I don't know. It's like different. This is a new character.
Yeah, it's a toss up.
Like no one really knows Shang-Chi.
And I feel like the thing is, I saw a commercial for Shang-Chi the other day where it started off with like a flat, like it started off with like Iron Man, and then it went to like Captain America, and then it went to like Thor, and then it was like meet the newest hero, Shang-Chi. Because I had thought, I was like, why the hell would you, excuse me, I know who this is already, but I had a thought, I was like, that's true. If you if you're not, you know, in our movie space, do you even know that this is a Marvel movie?
Like,
because it is, we talked about it, like, especially like with Snake Eyes and stuff that just came out, like the poster, the trailer, it looks a lot like the poster and trailers for a lot of other movies that have been coming out. If there's not, other than the Marvel, if you're not paying hard, close attention, there's not much that distinguishes this as the new MCU movie.
I think
so I was like, what the hell? You put an Iron Man in front of this? But I guess it makes sense because that's true. I don't know if
there'll be a
the
Captain
average
Marvel,
person just knows.
Captain Marvel cameo somewhere.
That is true. There is definitely going to be a Captain Marvel cameo.
Yeah.
I think the other thing though,
they have to.
I think the other thing though that we shouldn't underestimate about This one though is Simu Lee. Don't underestimate Kim's Convenience. That show is massive. Like
Is
people,
what?
Kim's Convenience, that show he was on, and people love him. Like he's a massive star from that.
Oh,
like
I've never even heard of that.
Oh, really? That's a big show.
Yeah.
Like
Okay.
I don't want to underestimate his following either, because he is a massive guy, like, to people. A lot of people like Simu Lee. I don't want to underestimate that either. I think they're very excited that he's going to get his, own superhero movie. So I don't want to underestimate that either. I think this movie is going to do a lot better than you two think it is, honestly. Especially in the long run. I think once the opening weekend
I would
passes,
like it to.
Yeah, I know. I'm not saying you're rooting against it. I think you guys are rooting for it. It's just, I think that I have a really good feeling about this. I think that this is going to be one of the best in the MCU, easily. I think that this is going to blow us all away.
Wow.
When we see it. Because okay, I know somebody that saw it. I'll say that. I know somebody that saw it, and what I heard, I think this is gonna blow us all away. So, yeah,
I hope so.
It's gonna be great. I can almost guarantee it's gonna be great. And I heard that premiere was unreal. Like the reactions at the premiere were extremely unreal.
Wow.
Like I'd heard that because it's mostly press that shows up to those things, so they're they're just ready to hate a movie right off the bat. And typically at the MCU premieres, they don't cheer and shit like that. And I heard for this one there were just multiple moments where people were just going insane in this one. So at the premiere, so that's a big deal. And yeah, I mean, I have heard from many different things. Many different critics that I've read. Go look at the first reactions, I'm telling you, because a lot of different ones are saying this is the best MCU movie, hands down. Which I know they say that every time.
That's gonna be a tough beat, dude.
But
I don't see anything,
especially
beating Avengers.
Did you guys see Campion's review of it, by the way?
I haven't seen any review. I don't really watch reviews before.
This is very non-spoiler. This is very non-spoiler, but I think it will raise your excitement level, what he said about it. He was one that also got me excited about it. Let's see. Campia.
The thing is, I'm hella excited. I hope it's incredible. I hope it's really good. I just know, again, me and my taste and my sensibilities and what I'm looking for out of my Marvel movies. It's gonna be a lot to be not Black Widow alone. It's gonna take a lot for that to be the best MCU movie of the year. But to be Infinity War, Endgame,
right?
I don't know.
Right. Let's listen to this.
Shang-Chi's
see if this raises your excitement.
Premiere tonight. I just read that the social media reaction embargo lifts as soon as the premiere is over. What did you think of the movie, and what sort of reaction were you hearing from the other people there? Thanks. All right, thanks a lot for sending that in, Mad Max. And by the way, our friend Mishak82 sends in a $50 super chat badge in the live chat. Thank you, Mishak. Appreciate that very, very much. That's extremely generous of you. Thank you. Okay. So what did I think of Shang-Chi, first reaction, all that kind of stuff? For those of you who may have missed it, I put up a quick out of the theater reaction of Shang-Chi when I came out. And I'm sure a lot of you guys have seen it. I think it already has over 100,000 views. A lot of people very interested in seeing how this movie's going to turn out. Let me tell you what my thoughts are on this. Kind of, take it for what it is. To me, Shang-Chi is the best comic book movie I've seen since Logan. I'm not saying it's as good as Logan. Don't get learn the English language. I'm not saying it's as good as Logan.
Bruh, that means better than Endgame, better than Infinity
I think so.
War.
I think so.
Wow,
that's what I'm saying.
You know, I'm
dude,
what? This movie? Oh my god.
Yeah,
that's wild.
I had a better time watching this movie than I did watching Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse, and you know how much I love Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse.
What? Wow.
I had a better time watching this movie than I did Endgame. I had a better time watching this movie certainly better than I did watching Black Widow.
More than Endgame?
I had a better time watching this movie than I did watching Suicide Squad, and you know I really like Suicide Squad a lot. I had a better time watching this movie. Again,
Like,
I have not
what were
had
in the drinks
a
at
better
that
experience
premiere,
watching a
man?
comic book movie since Logan. Logan was better, but after Logan, I haven't enjoyed a movie this much, a comic book movie this much. And the martial arts in it, granted, if you're not into, Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon or anything like that, there's some very practical hand-to-hand combat stuff. There's some very mythological kung fu style fighting like a Crouching Tiger as well. It's all blended in. I don't think there's been better martial arts in a movie since The Raid. Not as good as The Raid or The Raid 2. Not on the same level. The Raid and The Raid 2 martial arts action is better. But I'm just saying, since then, like, I don't think I've seen one that has had martial arts action that I've been this much into since The Raid. Certainly leagues better than Snake Eyes. Certainly leagues better than Snake Eyes. This movie...
That's not that hard.
...is awesome. This movie is awesome. And you know what? I haven't done this since I think the greatest comic book movie of all time is the first Avengers movie. I still think that's the best comic book movie ever made. But I had an experience coming out of Avengers where I was shaking. I was shaking when I came out of Avengers. Like I was like I couldn't just not move. Like I was just so filled with adrenaline, and I was so filled with awe and wonder of what I had just seen and all that kind of stuff. I haven't experienced that until last night. Like last night, I came out of the thing and I was just, now. And here's the funny thing about it. And I'm not going to go into plot points, and I'm not going to go into the story structure, and I'm not going to go into any of that. That has to wait till the full review, and the full review is still under embargo. I'm just telling you my reaction as I came out of the theater. It's at its core, this is a simple Marvel movie. It really is. When you sit back and watch it, you realize, like, structure-wise, it is a simple Marvel movie. If you're going into Shang-Chi expecting to see the Dark Knight, just with good martial arts, you're going to come out disappointed. This is very uniquely and distinctly an MCU movie. But it's just executed in such a way that I was just bouncing off the walls when I came out. Like, just bouncing off the frickin' walls. And, Rob, this is good, because you remember... I believe the last time I was at a big movie premiere was, I believe, before the pandemic. I think I could be wrong about this, but I think the last big movie premiere I was at prior to the pandemic, I believe, was Star Wars: The Rise of Skywalker. And that movie was shit. I came out of it and I did a video right after. I said, guys, this one's not for me. I was just so disappointed and so let down by the movie. I came out because, you go to these premieres and you're excited. You hope you see something good. And I just came out of that one. I'm like, guys, this movie, hey, some of you are going to love it and that's great. But for me, it's not for me. It was so great to go to a premiere and actually come out happy. Because I've seen a lot of movies, Rob, I haven't been so happy with the last little while. But some like Suicide Squads, obviously Free Guy is great. But man, I'm telling you what, I was filled with joy coming out of that. I still had adrenaline pumping through me watching it. The humor, like, some people don't want any humor in their comic book movies. No, everything should be dark and gray and everybody should cry and be sad. I get that. Some people like that in their movies, and that's cool. If that's what you're looking for in your movies, that's cool. But this does have the MCU humor in it as well. But oh my God, the humor worked. Oh my God, the humor worked. And dude, to be honest,
giddy.
And Rob, I was telling you before, because all Kevin Feige has been talking about is Eternals. Like, it feels like for the last 6 months, all Kevin Feige's talked about is Eternals. So I kind of felt like, okay, so that probably means Black Widow and Shang-Chi are probably okay. And sure enough, I saw Black Widow, and I thought Black Widow's okay. I like it, I do, but they did such a bad job with their villains, both of them. They botched the villains so bad, it's hard to be too terribly good when your villains are that bad. But I still liked it. I mean, I still thought it was okay. So I went into Shang-Chi kind of expecting the same. I was kind of expecting, okay, I'll probably like it, and it'll probably be good, but probably not great. This movie is great! It's great! I love this movie! But look, like everything else, Rob, it's all subjective. Just because I loved it this much doesn't mean you're going to love it as much as me. Doesn't mean any of you guys at home are necessarily going to love it as much as me.
Anyway, that's the basis of the review. Anyway, I don't know.
I will say, yeah. It does make me like hyped because the man was like giddy.
Yeah.
He was so hyped about this. So like I do want to know like what like I want to. I mean, it just makes me want to see the movie. Like I already really am dying to see it, but like I just want to know like what exactly is making you feel this way.
Right.
Because it's true. Like the way he's reacting to Shang-Chi was like how I reacted. They had some strong ass drinks at the premiere. But like he's talking of like, and I mean, again, like he said it, like we all have our own opinions. They're all valid. They're all true. But like the way he's talking about Shang-Chi, it's like how I talk and think about Black Widow. So I'm like, we'll see. We all have different opinions. And he said, you know,
for sure,
Black Widow was just okay to him. And I freaking freak out and love it. So we all have our different things, but I'm hyped.
Yeah.
I'm
You lost me when you said Avengers was the best MCU movie.
I'm like over Infinity War though.
It's not my favorite, but I do put
Endgame.
Avengers over Infinity War and Endgame also, by the way. I love Avengers. It's not my favorite, but I love that movie. Like that movie to me, there's nothing that's gonna beat that theater experience. That was like, oh my god.
I mean, shocker me preferring a sequel, but I mean that one's like I feel like pretty universally.
I also thought nothing would beat that Avengers theater experience, and then I saw Infinity War, and then I said nothing will be better than that, and then I saw Endgame, and here we are.
Good.
Both great movies, don't get me wrong. I just Avengers to me is like, I was young when I saw it, so I was like, I don't know.
Mr. Stark.
There's something to that.
Oh, gets me every time.
It feels so good. I will say, I think Infinity War was probably a better theater experience all around for me than Endgame. Like, I still had incredible theater experiences, but like the theater for Infinity War, it was just a little bit more hype. There was just a little bit more energy to it. It was insane. It was the stereotypical.
Because Endgame starts
Infinity War
off kind of a downer.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Endgame
doesn't get
Infinity War just hits and it keeps hitting and it never stops hitting. It just keeps going until the end, and then like it's just your adrenaline keeps going, and then the movie's over, and you're just like, it was beautiful. It was that might have been
Daddy
the
Thanos.
best one, actually. Infinity War.
By the way, we didn't get to the
and
part.
Thanos, and this is the thing. I've talked about this before. Oh, just real quick. I've talked about this before, that the thing also about Infinity War was I sat there the whole time being like, there's no way Thanos wins at the end. There's no way he snaps and he does the thing. I was like, there's no way. This is a superhero movie. The superheroes will always win. There's no way in hell.
Right.
And so then when he I was blown, like my heart stopped.
Oh, I knew when it still
he
worked
actually
on me.
snapped.
Yeah.
I knew it was gonna happen, and I still loved it.
Yeah, I mean, I just feel
I genuinely I'm never really wrong about that when I'm in movies, when I'm like, this person for sure is not gonna die. I'm usually right. And so I was like, just to be completely wrong, I loved it.
I mean, I just feel like Infinity War definitely, like if we're talking like third and final acts, I mean, definitely 100%. Like it's incredible. The movie's just so messy, before that. So it really takes time to get you in there. I mean, it's great to see all your favorite heroes on the screen and all that, but it's just they do it in
such another's
such a messy way.
Perfection.
You gotta build to it. They gotta keep hyping it up.
So messy, but anyway, but no, they missed this. I thought this was funny. We didn't get to that part in his review, but he did mention that Bob Chapek did not show up to the Shang-Chi premiere, which is not a good look.
Wow.
Yeah, there's been some controversy because like the main actor has been like pretty outspoken about, like, I haven't really been reading into it, but I guess something was like they said they were trying to use the movie as an experiment or something, and he got really like mad. I mean, rightly so, like mad about that. Like, this is why are you using our Asian led movie as an experiment? Like,
right? Yeah, he said that. He called it an experiment.
And I actually like that. Like for speaking out against.
Yeah. You like. Campia kind of talks about that too on I think it was Today's Show, if I'm not mistaken, that he did this review on, but he was kind of talking about that as well, about how Bob Chapek said that probably didn't mean any offense by it, but you got to really be careful. And he was talking about like that would never happen with Bob Iger. When Bob Iger was in charge, he wouldn't have had that slip up to call it an experiment or something along those lines, but who knows. But we are well over time here, guys, so we're gonna get going. But yeah, I want to thank everybody for joining here today. And Cisco, where can people find you?
You can find me at Misfit_minded on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and Stereo, where I have 2 shows. Movie Buffs is off this week because Shanny B's on vacation. We'll be back next week covering the Ip Man franchise, Donnie Yen, and the Ip Man movies. This Saturday, though, Saturday matinee is still on at the usual time, and we're having we're doing the new Adam Driver movie, Annette, and then
is that out?
Yeah, it's out.
It's been out. Yeah.
It's been out.
Yeah.
Where?
You have to go to your like local like art theater or you know what I mean, like your independent theater.
Okay.
I
really want to see Annette, man.
Because it's not like at the
looks
chain.
wild.
I know.
Yeah.
I'm really hyped about it. And then we're doing for the pairing, we're doing Leos Carax's, like one of his other movies, the director, Holy Motors, which I've never seen, but Edwin swears I'm gonna love it. So we'll see. Right. And continuing our coverage of What If. And we're also on, if you go to Asheville Movies, we're covering Fantasia Fest right now, which is like genre movies, horror, action, animated stuff. And he just posted, I just got an update right now that he just posted our second day of covering. You can catch like my review of the new Donnie Yen film on there, which I did not care for. And so that's why I'm doing Ip Man, because I don't want to besmirch Donnie Yen because I love him too much.
I love it, man,
but
dude.
It hurt me to write a negative review of that movie. But I get into my reasons. You can check that out why I did not care for that movie. So yeah, that's all. That's everything I got.
All right, Sammy. Where can people find you?
Hell yeah. Yeah, I'm on Instagram at Sammy Ramirez 14, on Twitter and Stereo at Sammy Ramirez, and then hosting a movie night every Monday, usually this week. I think it's gonna come out on Wednesday, actually this week, but we are doing
Thursday.
3 weeks. Thursday. This Thursday will be our next episode. Yeah. Thursday. We're doing The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe. We're going through all of the Narnia movies. So that will be Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe coming this Thursday. And then next week, my fave, Prince Caspian. I'm hyped. And then Voyage of the Dawn Treader, all of it. I'm hyped. Check that out.
Definitely, guys. I'll be on there too. And that should be fun. Very excited for that. And make sure you check out everything that those guys are doing as well. I want to thank them for coming by today and doing the show. Been a fun one, and we're gonna get going here today, guys. Twitter for me at Dom_Martino_, and on Instagram Dom_Martino_official. And you can follow the Anorak's pages on Twitter and Instagram, Anorak's official across both platforms. Also, I'm also on Stereo. At Dom Martino. I almost put an underscore between that. I always do. That'll be it for the day, guys. Thank you so much. Please like this video, subscribe to the channel, leave feedback in the comment section, share this with your friends, hit that bell for notifications. Appreciate it so much, and I hope you all have a great night. Thank you. Later. Good night. Bye.